Alright. Stream should be back right now. Uh, I don't know, does the other streaming program, whatever it's called, have less issues with internet dropping for very small fractions of time, and it's still stopping cutting the stream? Maybe I could go in my settings. Let me bring over OBS here, quickly. Does anyone know if there's a setting I can change somewhere in the advanced or, like, stream or some output or something that will prevent that from happening, just quickly? Because this is an issue that is happening. Like, something like this automatically reconnect. Should I disable this? Will that fix the issue more? Maybe if I do this, that'll make it better? No? 'Cause I don't know. I mean, I don't have perfect internet. I'm not living in the city. Yeah, I'm in Canada. I hope I didn't leak my IP. That would be annoying. But very obnoxious. Did I leak my IP? No, we should be good. Okay. So it's a bit annoying. OBS doesn't show my IP? Okay, good. Alright, we should be good. Didn't leak my IP or anything else important. Yeah, I'm in Canada. I was in Toronto, and there I had very good internet. Now I am in the countryside, and the internet, it's still pretty decent, but it is not 100% reliable. It is a bit, this connection is a bit slower, and there are these very small blips in the internet that cause the stream to drop, which are unfortunate. And OBS doesn't like it when the blips in the internet happen. Alright, so we're back. We were right here. So here is Hearth. Team Liquid makes it pretty obvious they're on the camp. Garrosh even scouts it. I mean, as soon as you see Jaina not show up here, clear this wave, you know that they're on a camp. You just don't know if they went to this camp or this camp. But they scouted it, they know they're on this camp, and they opt for an invade. Ishbu's not full HP. But Ishbu, the big thing here, Jaina, a very, very large portion of her damage, especially when you're chain CCing, is in her Blizzard. And Ishbu sees that Blizzard is down. So he expects that Blizzard's down, so the spells available for Team Liquid. Anub has all the spells. Jaina has EQ. Tyrande has Stun and Mark. Tracer will have everything. Tracer should have Bomb built by now. From auto-attacking minion waves. But he is expecting that he will be able to survive that. So in come the engage. Anub burrow doesn't even hit. Then he gets queued. He's probably marked during all of this. Where is his W? There's his W. Deckard's healing him. And yes, he does barely live. And Blaze actually shows up as well. Blaze actually rotated down here, and I think Vikings not even realize that. Because they're freezing the wave here. Vikings might have called this. It looks like Blaze wasn't spotted by this minions, but this is also part of why they're invading. But Garrosh, stupidly tanky hero, even through a Tyrande mark. He barely lives, Anub'arak dies, and they actually succeed the invade. Anub misplayed hard there. What could he have done better? I mean, he could have hit the burrow, but it's a mounted up Garrosh. Like, I don't think he has the range to actually hit that burrow. Like, maybe he doesn't need to burrow this early. Maybe he says, wait a little bit longer for Garrosh to walk forward more and eat more poke before I commit to the chain CC. Land the E. Even if the E lands, it doesn't make a difference. The Garrosh still gets chain CC'd. I don't think Tron's stun's even up. Tron's stun's even down. Tron used her stun on the camp. That could have also made the difference between Garrosh living and dying. Yeah, it just came up right there. So, but what does Heroes Earth lose for this? Because Team Liquid also could have just sacked this. They could have said, we have no idea where Blaze is. He didn't try and step up on top cap against the Viking. He's not pushing in this wave hard top lane. So he could either be soloing this night camp or they're invading. Or they could maybe be two-manning this camp with Phoenix and Blaze. Looked short. It looked like Garrosh sidestepped it forward anyway. No, he didn't need to be worried for Jaina. Jaina is fine against Garrosh, because Jaina has her perma-slows. Jaina's fine this entire time. Garrosh never gets in range for a Q. So maybe he engages a bit prematurely. Maybe Team Liquid should have just sacrificed this. Just said, it's very possible. It's not guaranteed that Blaze is here. Not sure where their map hacks actually went. That's pretty important. Where does this Rondowl go? Because they could have identified this invade, or at least the Blaze rotate with an owl. So there's an owl there on the night camp. Do they actually see Blaze on this rotate? Yeah, they see Blaze. They know Blaze is here if they were looking at the minmap right here. That's in Tyrande Owl vision. At what level do kills give even more experience than Muwe? I don't know. Let me pull up. I have one thing bookmarked that might tell you that. And I'm also not totally sure if this is updated, but this is just something that I've bookmarked. I'm not sure if it's updated 100% correct, and I'm not sure if it even has the information that you want, but you can look at that. But Team Liquid, with the Owl map packs, they should have seen this coming, and they did see the Blaze. It was only for about a second on their minimap, but they should have still been watching for that. And with the Tron, if the Tron stun was up, they kill this too. They kill the Garrosh and get the 1-for-1. They still lose the camp because Blaze is here. But at the same time, Hero's Hearth lost a ton of soak top because the lane's being frozen. I don't think they missed any soak mid because they cleared it right here. They lose. Both teams are losing some soak bottom. So overall, this invade is a little bit of a positive trade for Hero's Hearth, even without the kill. And with the kill, it's a bit better for them because this does disrupt Team Liquid's 4-man very heavily. Now Team Liquid can't 4-man around the map for a while. It's still pretty much impossible for Blaze to get the top cap against the Viking. It's just impossible, especially once they get level 4 if he takes the regen. But this does give the opportunity for Hero's Hearth to push. That wasn't me. That was the broadcast. The heck? Okay, that's weird. But yeah, the Viking here can just run in circles, especially once it gets level 4, if it takes that talent. We'll just run in circles and Blaze does not have the damage to pressure it, yeah. So he took that talent, so it gets regen whenever it moves. So if Blaze is trying to get the point, it just runs in circles, out-regens Blaze auto attack and Q damage, and you can't even hit a charge on it. So this cap, unless Hero's Hearth sends another hero up here, they will never get it. It will be impossible with Blaze in the 1v1. So I'm not sure why Ishbu's walking in here, because this seems kind of suicidal to me. And it was. What was his plan here? Because Phoenix had to go mid to soak. So what's the idea? I mean, Anoob's Q is down, so that's a bit of the chain CC down, but I don't know, does he not realize that Jane is still here? I feel like she was there a second and then went into fog for like a second. I mean, you want to alleviate DK pressure on your Phoenix, I guess. Well, now things are falling apart, and that should be a DK. Olaf actually dies mid to the Phoenix, and Blaze actually manages to push off the Viking. It looks like, oh no, it looks like Blaze. No, the Phoenix player missed micros, or not the Phoenix player. The Vikings player has to sent the blue Viking to cap DK, but Phoenix was there and went on it, and it's almost 100% uptime having to micro the red Viking against Blaze. So he stopped microing the red one to try and save the blue one. The blue one still died, and then the red one got too chunked out to hold top. So that is actually a decent issue for Liquid. Because now they have to at least wait for Blaze to get off the top point for the red one to get it back. So they do get it back. Tyrande holding bottom by herself with her map hack, so she knows if it's safe or unsafe based on how many heroes she sees with the Owl. Only a Deckard. She can 1v1 that easily. Both of them will just heal through each other's damage, and Deckard will run out of mana first, but that's whatever. The important thing is the DK, and they got it. Okay. They would prefer to have a Viking in it, because that's just a third of a hero in the DK instead of a full one, and it makes it harder for them to push around the map, or go split push somewhere else. They still have Jane outside the DK, so they could still send Jane and a noob to split push a different lane, while the DK pushes one lane. And it looks like, what are they doing? What's their plan with your DK? Yeah, pretty much everyone in chat so far has said they're disappointed or frustrated with Tempo's draft and play. Alright, so they're just 4-manning bottom. A new Beetle's helping to tank a bit for the DK. They're getting this wall. It's an early DK. It's not going to get anything insane. Maybe they could get more value if they pushed another lane at the same time as the DK pushing solo, because it is a Tracer in it, so she's safe out of the DK as well. But the big thing, there's no pressure on Team Liquid to be ahead before Tempo or before Hero's Hearth gets tech or anything like that. Like basically, again, I said in the draft, and I do know what already happens in the games, but Hero's Hearth can't do anything to Vikings. They can't rotate around the map as 4 and have kill potential when they're getting map hacked on by Tyrande. So their comp, and then they can't safely split soak with their Blaze by himself because this 4-man has kill pressure on him. So at some point, they're going to have to 5-man, and when they 5-man, they're going to be losing every other lane to the Vikings. So now Team Liquid doing a Night Camp, Hero's Hearth. They could try and do a Night Camp now with level 7 Hanzo DPS. Better pick than Phoenix last. I don't think there was a pick better than... I mean, maybe a Samuro pick. That would have been the only way to do anything to counteract the Vikings. But I don't know if they can even play Samuro. No, Greymane would not do anything. Greymane would not do anything differently to Phoenix. And they're 5-manning. And when I saw this in the game, I felt like this was not a terrible call. Because, I mean, Vikings are just going to split push. And if you're going to have to 5-man, you might as well 5-man with these camps. So you go, you get the camp out, you 5-man with it. And then you go back to lanes. And that's a decent response. I mean, it's still really hard. You're still against like a Jaina who can clear really heavily. But as long as you have the Night Camp, that significantly reduces Jaina's damage. 30 spell armor for free on the aura is very strong. So they're pushing as hard as they can while they have this Night Camp. As soon as the Night Camp's gone, they can't push anymore because Jaina insta-clears regular minion waves. So they'll have to go back to lanes. And you can see Vikings are soaking lanes in addition to killing that fort top with this Night Camp. Even if without the Night Camp, they would still push really hard because it's the two ranged ones, including the wave clear. And this Olaf is even cutting this minion wave here. He's just face tanking it. He can't face tank it forever, but it stalls the minion wave. I don't know if Hero's Hearth would have even pushed with if they got a minion wave over here with them. I think probably not, especially with Team Liquid almost at level 10. But it's cute. He wasn't missing very much soak to do that. So yeah, I mean, Hero's Hearth, they got this entire wall, this entire fort, and most of this wall, but they sacrificed 2 lanes of soak for a full minute or so, and they lost this fort and this wall. So they traded even-ish. But now another issue they're going to have is rotating from this fort here to anywhere else on the map is a lot faster than rotating from this wall, or this keep here. Yeah, that is all they could do. That is all that Hero's Hearth could do was run it down bottom lane, because that's the lane with the most camps in it, with mercenary camps. If there's no camp, they can't even do that, because Jaina waves clears. But with a camp, they can do that, and they can at least give them some kind of a chance to have a win condition through pushing down this keep and eventually going to core. But pushing onto core, even with all of the merc camps, that's still so hard to do. Still very hard to do, even just in a 5v4. And they're even just losing DK. And you can see, like, they can never get this cap, and if Team Liquid 4-man's down here, what do? If they have 5-man down here, then sure, Team Liquid leaves. They have map packs. They know if Hero's Hearth is 5 here. But if they're not, Team Liquid fights them because they one-shot, and Hero's Hearth doesn't. So, and there's a 10 advantage. That's another very relevant consideration. But it's just, I mean, it's a good Vikings pick, but it's also just a big weakness with Hero's Hearth's draft, where it can't actually do very much on the map. It just has to try and get team fights, and you can't just get guaranteed team fights when you're against a Tyrant on this map. So there's a DK. Just turning it. This time Viking is in it, which means that they have a real 4-man plus a DK, which is close to another hero, because it can always kick a hero out and does decent damage. And then Vikings are still soaking their lanes. This Night Camp they got out isn't going to get very much value, if any. If the green one was there, it would get 0. Maybe against the red one it gets a little bit, but the green one gets more push mid as well. There's a throw on a noob. Okay, so a noob gets the stun out. This is something you can do as a noob, is you stun right as you walk up to the Garrosh, so he gets stunned while he's in his throw animation before he can taunt, so he couldn't chain CC there. And then that allows for a lot of poke to get down on the Garrosh, and then Unstoppable gets wasted. But I mean, this is how the map is going to play out, no matter what Hero's Hearth does, is a DK spawns, and they lose the DK almost instantly. And if they try and hold on the DK by 5-manning in a lane, they lose all the other lanes really hard. So all they can do is, while a DK is not there, while there are merc camps bottom, just run it down bottom lane as 5. And that sucks. That's not how you want to be winning the game. Because you're not even getting winning trades when you do 5-man down the lane. It's only even trades at best. Garrosh face checks, gets one shot. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Okay. So here, the Trondowl only scouts Garrosh here, so Team Liquid thinks he's alone. But the entirety of Hero's Hearth is above here. And that means that the Blaze Charge does get blocked on the backline, but there is a Hanzo ult on the backline. There's a bunker down for the Garrosh at some point. And there's a Phoenix ult on them, which forces them to all back up. And also, Jane is not level 13. At 13, Garrosh dies there for sure. He should have died for 100% there? Let's see. So, a Noob Q, Tehran stun. His Unstoppable is down. Anub is holding Burrow, because they already hit all their damage off of it. There's a full Jaina Blizzard. There's a Tracer Bomb. I mean, they hit all their damage. It's just Garrosh is really tanky. They even had the mark on it. Garrosh is just really tanky. Let's see, did Deckard get potions over the wall or something? So Deckard's here. Potion, hits. Yeah, I mean, it's just Garrosh being ridiculously tanky hero. No other tank lives through that. Maybe a Diablo, if he gets a spell shield off before the CC. But if he's chain CC'd, he can't even survive that. But if Jane is 13, he does not survive through that, because then she just shoots out 3 more Qs and an extra E. So that was Team Liquid, overconfident, without their vision. Or without proper vision. They thought it was just a 4v1, when instead it was a 4v1 for a second or two, and then a 5v4. Yeah, at 16 it insta-dies to armor reduction. Plus, like, Tehran probably takes % damage owl. And here comes the camp's bottom, and Hero's Hearth is setting up for the 5-man on it. 5-man down the lane. It's kind of surprising because Hero's Hearth picked this map when they had the issues on it against the 1 in group stage. And then I feel like Team Liquid would have watched that match against the 1. At least a little bit, and seen that Hero's Hearth's drafting on this map was not great. And then same with their match against the other team they played this map on. Or was it only against the 1? No, it was against Dignitas. They ran against Dignitas on this map. And Dignitas got the Maiev. And Team Liquid even manages to steal this camp out. And Hero's Hearth really would have liked to have 2 siege camps plus a night camp pushing bottom. And you can look at this, like, you can't just leave a hero sitting on this cap to prevent a DK, because then you're just a 4v4 pushing. So you have to 5-man, you have to all-in commit. They'd pop water early, super early, why not? It's got a super long duration. All Team Liquid needs to do in their 4-man is clear out this night camp. Tracer could even, if she finds a spot to blink past, to get past Garrosh and have a safe recall, she could even blink in, just drop bomb on the night camp, just for the extra clear. That would be completely fine. In this case, they're harassing Garrosh, which is also fine. But they do need to make sure Jane is getting spells on the wave, on the night camp. Yeah, it is Dignitas. There's an ally throw in. Catches Team Liquid a bit off guard. Surprised that Tehran... Where's the Tehran cleanse on this? There's cleanses down on that, but there's no cleanse on the Jaina. That's actually really... Where's the Tehran cleanse? Or the Tehran 7? This seems really late, where your Jaina gets a Blaze ally thrown onto her, and then you don't even pop your 7 talent on her until she's super low. I feel like Nurok misplayed this, actually. I feel like Jaina does not need to die there when you have the cleanse and you have the 7 talent. Because it's not even like Garrosh got in range. Garrosh got cocooned. So the engage was entirely the Blaze CC into the follow-up damage. The arrow didn't even hit the Jaina. But the core does a lot of damage. It's like 250 DPS in AoE. So, Deckard can't sustain through it. And while you're committing cooldowns on the core, you're also not able to fight heroes effectively. Arcaner misses the bomb. That's actually a really bad bomb miss. That would have killed Crowan for sure. But Vikings come in, there's a DK on core, and they only got 9% on core. And that's with Jaina dead. That's like as good as you can probably get for Hero's Hearth, where your first night camp push gets this entire fort and most of this keep wall, and then your second night camp push gets this entire keep, and you kill her Jaina, but then you can't kill the core. Cleanse on Tracer getting taunted? Was she actually taunted? Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, is it a nice cleanse? He was just pressing his heal ability. It just happened to have cleanse attached to it for free. But I guess he did in fact cleanse the taunt. And I mean again, this is the one point. I mean, like, there's 0 point in the game where Heroes Hearth is at an advantage over Team Liquid's comp. This is when they have a camp bottom, especially the Knight camp bottom, and they 5-man push with it. That's the only point in the game where they're even with Team Liquid's comp, where they even have a chance to be able to achieve anything. But they try to go core. They have to. People die. They get chased down. And from here, it's almost a 3-level lead. Team Liquid's taking everything on the map while people are dead. This is down. This wall is down, which means that any more stuff here, this is even heavily damaged. Denying another camp here for the next bottom lane push that Heroes Hearth has to do. DK is also spawning before these camps spawn. Very nice for Team Liquid. And map hacks. Lovely, lovely map hacks. Very balanced. There's 3 heroes. Might have even seen this guy. Even saw this guy. Woohoo, map hacks. Team Liquid has no risk. They know when Heroes Hearth is 5-man in mid. And they know when their team... Alright, that owl gets blocked. That's pretty decent for Team Liquid. And then Garrosh still shows on it. And there are heroes still showing on the mid wave too. It's not like the owl's on a long cooldown anyway. This has a cooldown reduction attached to it. So there's another one. Are they bottom lane with Phoenix? Oh no, it's just Phoenix by himself. Okay, we won't play up too hard mid. He's coming mid anyway. I mean, like, look at the side lanes. There's catapults down here getting stacked up with the siege camp, with Merklord. And I mean, like, even here, what are you doing, Team Liquid? Where are your map hacks? They're on cooldown. So why are you stepping forward? When, look at this. This is happening here, and for some reason Team Liquid feels like they need to step up mid. HGC the core successfully in that situation with sleep missing and bunker down. I don't think they can core in general with a Deckard, even 5v3. I don't think it's possible. Deckard just does not have the sustain for just core DPS. And also their core damage isn't good. Hanzo's core damage is absolutely terrible because the W can't hit it. But, like, why is your Jaina here? What are you doing, Team Liquid? Nobody is showing in the side lanes from Heroes Hearth. You even saw the Phoenix here with your Owl, and you saw him rotate mid. And you see all these heroes here. So why are you stepping forward when you can just sit here and wait for catapults in the siege camp to pressure core? I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. If they weren't so far ahead in experience and structures in terms of their draft, it would be a throw, because their Jaina just died. I mean, like, there's still nothing Heroes Hearth can do. Like, what do? They rotate bottom, maybe get this cap. They can't get DK. That's not possible. They're still getting their lanes shoved in super hard by a Viking that they can't respond to still. Like, they got bottom with two people rotating there, and now Phoenix is starting Knights. They don't have map hacks. They don't know where Team Liquid is. Team Liquid does have the map hacks, though. Where's your map hacks, Team Liquid? Show me. Oh, top lane? That's, like, the worst place you could throw your map hacks, actually. But whatever. It's not like Heroes Hearth's core are going to survive much longer with this stuff all going to it. Another value sleep. I mean, what are you trying to sleep? Even if your sleep hits, unless it hits Tehran, she cleanses the other people. It doesn't matter. So here's the 5-man bottom, or the 4-man. Did they get their 5-man together? Oh yeah, they never died. They had a 5-man. And there's your core. Already dying to catapults and Vikings. And like even if Team Liquid is back here defending with 4 of their heroes, they still win. The Phoenix died to the Jaina because they have to focus core or else they lose. And if it was 4-man defending, Team Liquid still wins. Team Liquid had to mess up a decent bit to even make it that close. Especially that very last mid fight. That was just this is just terrible. Why are you here? Why are you not AFK under your fort just map hacking while your Vikings are 1v0 in lanes? Because until Heroes Hearth has heroes here, why are you stepping forward? It's just greedy. It's just not good. Because normally what would happen is Heroes Hearth would never get another chance for the rest of the game to go push bottom as 5. We'll get the tempo when we get there. Hold on. Because, like, they're stuck mid as 5. Heroes Hearth is trapped mid lane as 5 heroes for the rest of the game until their core dies. And if they go back to their core, DK gets capped, and then their core dies. Yeah, Heroes Hearth played this pretty close to as well as they could. They got ridiculously outdrafted. And I mean, part of that is the Vikings pick, but part of that is also their first 4 picks that couldn't do anything proactively. How do you beat this Liquids draft? Have a Dahaka, have a Genji or a Zeratul or a Valera, anything that can deal with the Vikings. Pick a Samuro maybe. Like anything but already commit to these 4 heroes and then be stuck with a Phoenix. Well, I picked Phoenix over Falstad. Even could have done a bit more. Yeah, Falstad would have been... Falstad's actually a decent suggestion. But even Falstad has to be really scared in the side lane by himself against Team Liquid's 4-man. If he gets hit by a Shrink Ray Owl, he's dead for sure. But he at least would be able to bribe out camps and be able to somewhat split clear. But even Falstad can't handle both lanes by himself, and that's what would be called of him. Maybe Hero Pool? I don't know. I mean, maybe Heroes Hearth can't play Samuro. I don't know. I have no idea about that. There is a team that we know can't play Samuro, and that's coming up soon. Can Hami play Falstad? Yeah, anyone can play. Falstad's not that hard of a hero. Hami can play it for sure. Crowan could play it. Alright, game 3. Yeah. Alright, Team Liquid banning Abathur again. Just don't want to deal with that garbage. Sure, your first pick, you don't care. I honestly am kind of surprised that Heroes Hearth is not getting first pick for themselves, because when they had first pick in the first game, they just got Maiev, because Team Liquid had to ban out Abathur and Zeratul. I mean, they had to run it down bottom. They couldn't do anything else. They couldn't do any. There's nothing better they could do with themselves, with their heroes. Just a very, very heavy outdraft. So, I'm a bit surprised. I mean, Heroes Hearth prefers D-Shire, prefers Tomb, sure. But it does give Team Liquid, like, if you're first pick, you can ban whatever you want. You can ban Murky and Samuro, and then you're fine still, because you're first pick. You get whatever OP shit you want. Whereas the other team has to ban Genji, Maiev, or else they kind of just lose the game. So, that's a really big first pick advantage. I actually want to pull up Master League right now and see first pick advantage. Because that is actually a stat that you can directly look at without filtering out the bad teams, because it is split evenly in the group stage. So how do I actually look at that? Drafts? No. How do I actually look at this? Do I have to actually directly go through each match to find first pick versus second pick advantage? First pick was 3-0 that series? Yeah, that series. But I want to actually see in general, too. But it seems I can't do that. Maybe if I go to meta. Don't know if Master League provides that? Oh, well. That sucks. Because that would actually be an interesting stat to see. Because it would be balanced out, because whenever a garbage team, such as, this one, plays against not a garbage team, they're going to get 2-0'd. One game is first pick for the team, one game is second pick, so it's just balanced, so you don't need to filter these games out, but it's whatever. Blizzard will probably put together that stat themselves after the tournament, or someone will do it on Reddit. Alright, so Heroes Hearth has to ban OP, dumb, broken, 100% pick and ban rate assassins that have been broken for the past year. Nice. Team Liquid gets to ban Abathur Joe. And Heroes Hearth showed both these heroes. They showed that they really heavily prioritize Joe early, Heroes Hearth does, to enable their other picks on the map. And there's a first pick Garrosh. So this does give up Tyrande and potentially Diablo. I don't know. I can't look at that stat. HGC, HGYFY7. Alright, so Tyrande and Blaze is their priority. Sure. So does Team Liquid need to pick a rel here? Or are they okay with it getting banned and then picking up a Leoric or a Malthael or something else later on? They already showed how to delete. Yeah. Ishbu got pretty exploited in that game. Okay, they go Phoenix Jaina. So, big thing with this is that, at the very least, what Team Liquid has identified is that Heroes Hearth is very reliant on the Joe for Heroes Hearth drafts, because Joe brings more wave clear than any other main tank, any other meta main tank right now. If you run main tank Blaze, he'll have wave clear, but you're never gonna run main tank Blaze because he's stupidly OP in the offlane. So this is not a main tank Blaze ever. Joe is a main tank. She's not an offlaner. She's not an offlaner, Blizzard. All right. So now we got that settled. They pick 2 of the heaviest wave clear heroes, and then who else is left that can wave clear in the 4-man? Gul'dan is not meta anymore, so there's Junkrat, and then who else is there? What other heroes are there? Let's pull up the wiki. Look at the list of heroes. Who else can wave clear? Chromie's not meta. Falsta's not meta. Greymane's pretty bad. Jaina's taken. Li Ming's not good wave clear. Rainer's pretty mediocre wave clear. Tychus would have okay wave clear, not amazing. So, like, there's no wave clear. Where do you get your wave clear from? Zool? No. You do not run Zool into Garrosh. You run Zool into this guy, you get farmed. You get absolutely farmed. Unless you get Medivh, I guess. Which is surprising. Medivh has not been touched in this entire series. Not sure if these teams just can't play it. I know that Heroes Hearth probably can't play it because Arthlon was their Medivh player. Hammer's not wave clear. What? What are you talking about? Hanzo at 4, but that's at level 4. Do you know how many levels there are between the start of the game and 4? There's 3 of them. That's a long time. Yeah, I mean, it's not like these heroes are only for wave clear. It's not like they picked a Zagara or something ridiculous like that to just clear minion waves. Like, these are meta heroes that are good at wave clear and are also useful heroes in team fights, and are also good at Heroes of the Storm. Gul'dan's not good. Team Liquid can play Medivh? I'm surprised they didn't pick it at all in the series, then. Because it wasn't banned at all. Kael'thas? Kael'thas is a terrible hero. Kael'thas is a really, really terrible hero. Kael'thas is awful, actually. And they're probably going to ban Junkrat here, too. No, it's not just that he's not meta. He's just not good. He's just not a good hero. You're a Kael'thas, even if you hit a full combo on Garrosh, it doesn't even half-shot him. And that's the squishy half of his HP. If he's already half HP, you don't even do a quarter of his HP. It's so sad how low damage. Mephisto, his wave clear is okay. You could Mephisto for a lot of your wave clear. Not for all of it, though. You would still need to get some wave clear. Mephisto can kill most of the main wave, but someone still has to finish it off. And you can't just have a hero sit there and auto-attack it to death, because that's not good enough. So yeah, I'm expecting a Junkrat ban here. Unless they want to ban Diablo or something like that. And I'm a bit surprised that this is a Deckard ban instead of a Rel. Okay, they do deny Diablo, so there's still Junkrat up. That is a wave clear option for Heroes Hearth. And Crowan or Hami, one of them should be able to play that hero. Orphea? I have not talked about her at all. I don't know the numbers or anything. It looks like your Q is her main ability that is going to separate good players from great players, or bad players from good players. Because that's a lot of her damage and all of her mobility. And it might be broken, because it's my Ev resets level of stuff. Alright, so you got an Anub and a Hanzo. But this is not a map where you rotate around and look for pickoffs, isolated pickoffs. This is a map where you wave clear, and then you fight around the turn-ins with poke and harass. And 5v5. Alright, so there's an Arthas. So, I don't know if Heroes Hearth already knew that Team Liquid was going to play Arthas offlane, and had no intention of picking Narelle, but sure. And then there's a Malf. So Malf has the cleanse. Not a hard unstoppable, but does Junkrat do anything against Team Liquid comp? He would need to scale, for sure, but he would wave clear. And you wouldn't have to pick your Junkrat here. You could still have your Hanzo and your Anub, and then pick Junkrat here, and that'd still be fine. Then you just have 2 ranged with your support, and then offlane and tank. That'd be completely fine to last pick Junkrat here. And Junkrat against these heroes, he is pretty good against Garrosh, because Garrosh can't threaten him at all, and he can punish Garrosh if Garrosh doesn't have an unstoppable off cooldown. Arthas, he's also really good against. Boop Arthas off your team. Or boop him in to focus him. And even against Jaina, if you see Jaina walking up to throw spells, you could knock her out of the fight. eat a lot of her Icy Veins duration, which is pretty important. Reg is a terrible hero. Reg is so bad. So, Tass, I don't think you'd have enough damage with Tass. And he can't, a Tass in this comp would not fit. You would not have enough wave clear. Like, you need Junkrat for this comp to work. I mean, they pick Zeratul here. I already saw it. It was banned in the previous 2 games, so whatever. But the issue with Zeratul is he can't do anything early game, especially against the Garrosh. Because the difference between Junkrat and Zera is Junkrat can stall turn-ins. And he can clear the wave a lot more quickly and a lot safer than Zeratul can. Zeratul needs 2 Qs to clear the minion wave out, and he needs to be in melee for those Qs. So if Team Liquid instantly clears the mid wave with their Jaina, and maybe even has Phoenix top lane already, 1v1ing Zeratul, Zeratul won't be able to clear, whereas Junkrat would be a lot more effective. He still would lose the 1v1 to Phoenix, but he'd be able to stall turn-ins, and he'd be able to clear the wave out more quickly. Didn't have enough damage with Zeratul. I mean, yeah, they don't even have, like, VP wombo combos with it. You can't dive with Jaina early. Yeah, no, Zera can't... Against this comp, you cannot do anything as Zeratul. He's only going to be fighting minions the entire early game. You cannot blink in, you can't walk in on these heroes. Tass Hanzo used to be meta. Yeah, that was when Hanzo's wave clear was insane. And he was an insanely strong hero. Malthael? I think Malthael might be worse than Zera. Because the big issue with Malthael, what you want to be able to do is just sit on top of the enemy team's tanks and trade with them. Because you win those trades decently. But the problem is you have an Anub as your tank who can't sit with you against an Arthas or a Garrosh. And you're also against a Jaina who bursts you super hard. And the Garrosh also just punishes you really hard with his CC. I feel like Heroes Hearth overvalues Hanzo a lot. Sylph doesn't have wave clear until level 7. That's even worse than Hanzo. Oh my goodness. No, Li Ming can't clear minion waves. She needs to hit minion waves from the side with her W to be able to clear them, and good teams won't let you do that, especially when they already have a massive rotation advantage. Sylph. What? That hero doesn't even do damage to minions. She's that bad. So, I mean, Heroes Hearth, when they have this comp, Malthael would not work, basically. At least in the early game. He would work for last rights, but if you're only picking him for last rights, then Zeratul would be better, most likely. Because what Malthael wants is to just sit on top of the Arthas and trade with him. And he wins those trades decently. But then the rest of his team can't help him with those, so he wouldn't be effective. I am surprised both of the games that Phoenix was picked, he didn't take the splash damage after 3 auto attacks. I really think that's the better talent. But, oh well. It's not that much worse, even if it is worse at all. Talent that they do take. I mean, Hanzo doesn't need to be late game. Hanzo is fine as an early game hero. It's just his wave gear is only at 4. So the big issue is Heroes Hearth can't threaten Garrosh, because they have a Hanzo. And I mean, you can't really threaten Garrosh in general. And in addition to that, their 1v1 top, if it is Phoenix against the Zeratul, loses. In addition to that, their wave clear is super low. So there's the wave instantly cleared. This wave isn't even cleared, because again, Zeratul can't clear the wave quickly. He needs his 6-second Q cooldown to come back up. Whereas Junkrat, this wave would already be cleared. And now there's just a Phoenix down here, because why not put a Phoenix down here? You're still clearing this for free. Thrall is nothing here? No, Thrall is even worse than a Zeratul. Seen more pros pick this talent? It's close to 50-50. Food ASMR? Oh, is it actually picking up? I'll move my mic a little bit, unless you people enjoy it. You sick people enjoying me eating my pasta, my spaghetti, with all the squelching sounds that my mic, that is probably set to a bit too high sensitivity, is picking up. Alright. Show spaghetti? Fine. It's already mostly eaten, but I eat really slowly, so there's still a bit left. You're gonna have to zoom in probably to really see it, but it's there. Mom spaghetti? Yeah, pretty much. It is literally mom spaghetti. Alright, let's back to the game. So, Team Liquid, they're not putting Phoenix 1v1 against Zeratul. They're just clearing this wave, and I mean, look at how much fun Hanzo's having this game. He gets to auto-attack a minion to death. Look at that. Kill those minions, Hanzo. Auto-attack and Q them. Do it. Kill those minions, Zeratul. Oh, good job. You actually had 6 seconds to clear the whole wave out. Good job. Meanwhile, half this tower is gone. Half this gate is gone. Gul'dan's just not a good hero. He can't pressure tanks at all. He has to do AoE damage to be effective, and you can't do AoE damage when tanks are so strong right now in the meta. And now, look at that. Liquid's just doing this camp with 2 heroes. And what can Heroes Earth do about it? They can't do their night camp. They can't even finish this mid wave before Team Liquid's done with this camp. So they get some gems in, I guess. Good job. They got 17 gems in. That's actually pretty decent. That's probably the best thing they could have possibly done with their time. Was pushing the waves slightly ahead of Liquid. Jaina gets stuck here clearing. Garrosh gets stuck here for a little bit clearing. Arthas gets stuck here clearing because he wants to play safe. And they get 17 gems in. I mean, okay. No, Nazeebo is a terrible hero. Nazeebo doesn't even do damage. And his wave clear isn't good. Nazeebo runs out of mana after clearing like 5 minion waves. So now, suddenly, there's a night camp mid that Team Liquid is pushing with. Arthas and Blaze both rotate at the same time. But there's an Arthas on top of your Hanzo. Good thing he jumped out, because he couldn't get thrown. I think, does Blaze tank this throw for him? Yeah, Blaze actually makes sure that he tanks the throw for him. So good play by Blaze, but now he might be dead. So maybe not quite good play. Maybe he could have walked into the Garrosh instead of charging him. That probably would have been better, because maybe if he has charge here, he can get out. But Garrosh is blocking him anyway. No, he's just dead 100%. Someone has to pay for the sins of Heroes Hearth being too far up while clearing this night camp. And it was either Hanzo or it was Blaze, and Blaze decided to pay for the sins. You have sinned, Heroes Hearth. Sacrifice 1 soul to the Garrosh, because Garrosh is just going to do that to you. And there's the soul. Unfortunately, it was the full health Blaze that got sacked instead of the low health Hanzo. And the Blaze would have also been more useful clearing this night camp, because Hanzo's still not level 4. But what can you do about it? You were too far up in the mid lane. Arthas showed up and collapsed on you when Blaze also was mid already. And then Garrosh walked at you. Now your entire mid wall, at least the gate, is gone. And you're down a lot of experience. You got the 17 gems in, though. A noob should have tanked that. Did a noob have things? I think a noob was 2 CC'd. So he gets rooted here, and now he's Arthas slowed, and then he gets Malf-rooted. No, there's no way a noob could have tanked that. And if he tanked it, he would have died before he could even get his E off. Who was drafted for HHE? I think it's Cawthon plus the rest of the team. It's just, I don't think there's any, like, one specific drafter. I mean, there's one, if you're asking who's the person who says lock in this hero and has the last word on it, probably Cawthon, I guess, but yeah, blame the drafter. Definitely don't blame your Samuro for taking the wrong ultimate or anything like that. XD. BlizzCon changes yet? No. Tychus? Yeah, I said Tychus would be okay. Tychus would have been okay. Wouldn't have been amazing. You'd still be losing the early game pretty decently. What about Nerubian? No, that's a bad talent. A noob doesn't have any good level 1 talents, basically. Let's pull up the wiki quickly. Let's look at a Noobrack's level 1 talents and laugh at them together. Laugh at how they all do nothing. Alright, level 1. You're level 1 on Noobrack. What do you want? You want every 12 seconds you get 30 spell armor for 1.5 seconds. Pretty terrible. It used to be every 8 seconds you got 50, and that was OP. But now it's a quarter effectiveness of that. So it's pretty bad. Your Beetles have 50 spell armor. That does literally nothing. And Regen Master, which it's Regen Master. I took it on Sergeant Hammer. It was a decent talent back in 2016, early 2017. Yeah, I'll talk BlizzCon changes if we have enough time tonight, which it doesn't look like we will. Actually, we might. The last 2 series were pretty stompy. Yeah, I think Junkrat was the best option, and I feel like there should not have been any kind of hero pool limitation stopping them from playing that. Like, you think Nerubian armor, bleh, Nerubian armor would be good against Jaina, but the reality is, your Nerubian armor gets popped by the Garrosh Q before you even take Jaina damage, or it gets popped by a random Malf W or a random Jaina Q, and then it's just on cooldown. So it just doesn't do anything ever. It just gets popped by random tiny abilities and then doesn't actually stop burst damage. Just a really useless talent. Beetle build, get out of here. Alright, so they got a lot of gems in. Team Liquid off of that kill, and a lot of push. Nice. All of the gems in fact. And Hero's Hearth is still dealing with his minions. Go, Hanzo. Come on, you can do it. They're killing our towers, Hanzo. You need to be quick. Quickly, shoot those arrows. What's wrong with Gul'dan? He just doesn't do any damage to Garrosh or Arthas. His damage is non-existent to tanks. Alright, Hanzo, you got your wave clear talent. You can wave through the mid lane now. Good thing the Jaina is wave clearing both mid and top lane, and their Phoenix is just going bottom and pushing. That's always good. They are sneaking and turning here. Phoenix can't stall this super safely, because Garrosh is 2v1ing the Zeratul top. So they got 3 gems in. Nice. Before Garrosh showed up. Now Garrosh is here, and now they can't do anything. Alright. Someone's gonna have to catch top lane. That's decent. Meanwhile, Arel 35 armor. It used to be 35, but yeah. No Phoenix taking out some synergy? I'm not sure. Yeah, Gul'dan does so little damage that even his mid-range spells might as well be classified as poke damage because they do so little. So Team Liquid, what they want is to get waves pushed in, have wave pressure that Hero's Hearth has to catch, and then turn in the gems, because they want to get turn-ins. And they have enough gems for turn-ins. Oh look, a noob. Oh, he got out. Alright, he got cleansed by the Tyrande. Even though the visual of Garrosh's Q is a knock-up, it is purely a stun effect, so you can cleanse it with Tyrande Q. Same with the Nubrak's Q and E. They're purely stuns, they are not knock-ups. Stupid amount of damage at 16, only if people stand in your E. Alright. They're trying to go on Arthas. Who said Malf doesn't have burst healing? And then your noob dies. I mean, so who did they have here when they went on this? Did they have all 5 heroes? They had all 5 heroes. Because I feel like Team Liquid's messing up here, where they're constantly leaving Zeratul up here by himself instead of 1v1ing him with Phoenix. So Jaina is constantly having to catch this wave, and Team Liquid isn't getting any turn-ins top. I feel like Team Liquid could be playing this a lot better, where Phoenix should be the one up here, and then Jaina can be here in the 4-man between these. Because Phoenix wins 1v1 against Zeratul, as long as you know where the Anubrak is. Because I feel like Team Liquid should be winning the early game. They have way more wave clear. They have way stronger early game heroes, but they're not. They're behind on gem turn-ins, which is bad. Because yeah, Jaina's up here having to catch this wave, and then they get 5v4'd. And that should be a bad situation for them, because it should be Hero's Hearth who's stuck in the situation, where Hero's Hearth has a hero here, catching this wave, and Team Liquid is 5v4ing here. But for some reason it's the other way around, which doesn't make any sense. So Zera misses W. A noob burrows, it stacks the CC a bit, and the Q's on Garrosh, which is okay. This Q on Garrosh is fine because ally throw. That's why the Q's on Garrosh. It's not like it does damage to the Arthas. That's not relevant. That the Q missed. A noob missed Q. And Hanzo missed W? Let's see, where's Hanzo? There's no W angle there. There's literally zero way to hit W unless you get it right on the corner here, where the pixels get weird. And that's not possible when there's a Garrosh right next to you, so you can't just stand still and line up the pixels for 5 seconds. But the Hanzo Q did miss. But I mean, like, he's not even close to dying. He didn't go below half HP. Team Liquid is definitely screwing up their rotations, their macro, in the lanes for this situation to even happen, but they're strong enough that it doesn't even matter. Their draft is so winning. Let's see, how does Hami get caught here? Tron just late there with the cleanse? Oh, Tron just wasn't watching. She was trying to rotate or something, so she didn't cleanse the Blaze. If she cleansed Blaze, Blaze lives there because he can charge out sooner. But, alright, and now Hanzo's dead. Oh no, he's alive. Alright. Jump over wall in W. So, like, he jumps over here, and then W's against this wall, I guess. It's still not even close to killing the Arthas. You're not even close to killing this Arthas. He popped Icebound as soon as he got 7. You're not even close to killing this Arthas. Putting yourself in situations where you can't use it? I mean, did everyone else get in position for this sooner? He had to clear mid-wave. He was clearing the mid-wave. That's why he's mid. He was grabbing this gem, and then he mounted up. Or he threw a Q out, and then he mounted up. Oh no, he didn't mount up. He could have been in a... they're not even... They don't have the damage to kill an Arthas. They cannot kill an Arthas at this point. They probably can't kill the Arthas the entire game, to be honest. But they definitely can't kill the Arthas right now. So... If Blaze had 35 armor here, if it was this the new patch, he might have lived there. He might have turned around and killed everyone with his 35 armor. Spent so much time on this, because it's an important turning point of the game. Because that kill... here on the Anub, and then the follow-up kills when they tried to stall the turn-in turned into a massive snowball. But yeah, I mean, they couldn't kill Arthas, that's enough said. It's not live patch. If Heroes Hearth had a Tychus, yeah, if they had a Tychus instead of a Zeratul or Hanzo, yeah, they could have killed him with Bigger there. As soon as Liquid hit 7, they hit 7 in the middle of the plan. That's kind of hard to tell when exactly Team Liquid will hit 7 off of passive experience, because that's very hard to tell. Because when you see this is all passive experience over the next few seconds, but it only increases in chunks, so you can't actually tell. Like if the bar is full, they're up to 10 seconds away from getting that next level. But how many seconds is it exactly? Nobody has any clue. Maybe if there was a timer that counted down for passive experience right here on the top that said 10 seconds before passive experience levels them up, that'd be nice. But as it was, Team Liquid was 6 with a almost full bar, and then they hit 7 as the engage happened. Before a noob engage? No. Alright, this is the last time we're going back here. Alright. Okay, yeah, they were 7 before. Never mind. You're right. But it was very borderline. Alright, so now there's a turn-in, and now Heroes Hearth doesn't have wave clear again, because that's Hanzo Q. And then there's a Zeratul, who's never going to be able to clear by himself in a 1v1, whether it's Phoenix against him, or Jaina against him, or an Arthas against him, or this. And also, this bottom wall was already dead, so because of the Phoenix going down there and 2v1ing, that is the advantage Team Liquid got early on. So, Blaze can't do anything here, because he shouldn't even be trying to be here, he should have just left already. As soon as Blaze sees Arthas show up in the lane, like even, so right here, as soon as Blaze sees this, and Anub'arak is rotating the lane, he should just leave. Or at least he threw some stuff at the wave, sure, but as soon as Arthas actually starts stepping up, when Anub shows mid, that's when Arthas starts stepping up, and he knows that it's not a 2v1 here. They see Anub, Arthas steps up, Blaze leaves. But Blaze stays for a long time before he leaves. And he could be helping his team clear other lanes. This fort is just gone unless Heroes Hearth sends more people down to deal with the Arthas. But by now it's too late. The wave is too massive. So mid wall's dead. Bottom fort is completely dead. Top wall is damaged. And it's a level and a half lead. But yeah, like if this was Ragenshire, Heroes Hearth's comp is insane. Because then they have the Zeratul, and they have the Anub'arak for kill pressure, and they have the map hacks. But instead, and as you can see, Zeratul looks like he's trying to scout this turn-in. Jaina goes on him, he has to blink, but he's permaslowed, and Garrosh just runs at him. Yep. But, yeah, it's just the wrong map for this draft, kinda. And I feel like Team Liquid didn't even exploit the lack of wave clear as much as they could have, nearly as much as they could have, because there was constantly a Jaina here having to catch the wave. instead of the Zeratul having to catch the wave here, and I feel like that was wrong. And something should have changed for Team Liquid for that to not happen. Health scaling on Guillotine. You can go to the scaling stats thing. I'll link that. And you can look at the actual the details of it all. Leo instead of Zeratul? No, Leo's an offlaner. Leo can't sit up here and clear, because the enemy team 4-man still shows up, and he doesn't even clear very well either, until level 4 at least. I don't know. Like, it should have been a Junkrat, or a Tychus. Stuff should be in the ability itself. Doesn't it say it increases by 1% per 1% health you're missing? I mean, you do have to do the mental math yourself or something. Yeah, Jane is pretty strong. I mean, Jane is still really weak against Diablo. She's still really weak against Maiev. She's still really weak against Genji and stuff like that, but as long as those heroes are permabanned, or you have some counters for that kind of thing, like a Garrosh ally throw, then she's really good. When does the big brain plays starting? What do you mean big brain plays? So what's this? Team Liquid's 5-manning as their siege. Phoenix is actually really poked out. And then Hanzo just misses ult. You can actually see here, even if this ult hit, look at Garrosh. He unstoppables, so even if this hit Phoenix and splashed to stun Garrosh, it would not stun him. And then he'd ally throw Phoenix out. 100% safe here. Nothing Hero's Hearth can do. But it misses. So it looks kind of bad, but even if it hit, nothing they can do. There's no engage, because Garrosh ally throws. And now they're getting counter-engaged on. And I mean, what do? He was looking to follow up on the stun, and then it missed, and then they just got turned around on, he got Arthas rooted, and then Malf rooted, and Tehran can't cleanse any of this. And I mean, Arthas can't die. Arthas cannot die. The hero, they don't have Arthas killing heroes. Oh, you're talking about the Tempo Storm games? Very soon. This game is pretty fast, as you can see by the 2-level lead, and every single fort being dead. Dumb looking at the... Yeah. I think there was a Reddit post at some point, like last year, where someone actually had like a graph that had a curve that showed how the damage scaled or something like that for the ult, and the actual direct numbers for it, but I don't think the Reddit search engine is good enough for you to find that. I would not be able to find it either. I don't know. You could maybe if you look up, if you search on Reddit, heroes on the Heroes of the Storm Reddit, you search Zul'jin Guillotine damage graph, you might be able to find it, but I'm not confident in that. So what happens to Blaze here? So Garrosh is sitting in here. The map hacks actually, what are these map hacks? Those map hacks, that Tyrandal is terrible. And you can even see, I mean, it's not like it's Tehran's fault, but it is a thing that should be improved, where this owl did literally nothing. You already see 4 heroes hitting your fort, and all you needed to scout for was the Garrosh, and this owl failed to do that. And then someone walked into him and died. And that is an issue. Oh, someone actually found it instantly. Hey, well there it is. There it is. Good job Reddit, or good job Twitch chat, not Reddit. But I mean, he gets thrown, taunted, buttons pressed, bunkers down from the earlier fight, and they can't even kill the Garrosh. If Zeratul was there, maybe they killed the Garrosh, but he had 45 armor, so maybe not. Google greater than Reddit search? Nice. Yeah, it might actually just be better to just search on Google to find the Reddit post rather than search on Reddit. Okay. Google tricks. And then this owl, I guess they wanted a scout boss, sure. HHCs can't be better if they had Diablo instead of a noob, yeah. Yep. But Diablo was banned by Team Liquid. Heroes Hearth could only pick two early pick heroes, and they got Tehran and Blaze. And then Diablo got banned, second ban phase. So, Team Liquid's trying to stall while doing a night camp because they have a 13 timing coming up. Ishbu does get gems in though, which is pretty nice for them. Could they not have stalled this better? I guess it's just too scary. Malf can't walk up without Garrosh there, and Garrosh was on the bottom turning and watching that. And then he started rotating as soon as they saw that Heroes Hearth was forcing top turn in. But they got pushed back too far. Maybe they didn't need 2 heroes doing this camp, and they could have rotated someone sooner, but it looks like Jaina's leaving right now, so... Maybe it's greedy that they do the night camp instead of stalling turn-in, but the thing is, they don't need to stall. They don't have great turn-in stalls in the first place, and if they do try to walk up too far to stall, they can get engaged on by VP and Cocoon and Hanzo ult. So just having the night camp there to defend against the turn-in, especially when bottom lane is not in a great spot for Hero's Hearth, is fine too. So they play very defensively, very low risk, and just give the turn-in away. Would you pick Diablo versus Garrosh? Yeah, it's fine. Especially when they have a Jaina too. Then Diablo would be pretty unkillable. Would Diablo change how Hero's Hearth draft this, or does he act similar to a noob? I think they still would have drafted the same heroes. They would just have a better tank in these matchups and on this map. Because Diablo brings a little bit of wave clear too, and he's also just way tankier with these team comps. And with how the map works. So yeah. This Web Weaver spawned really far back, and is already low on HP, most likely. Mid got cleared with the night camp. Top got cleared with the rotation, and they were so staggered, so it just went in one at a time, and Team Liquid just went there, clearing each of them. They have 13 advantage. Hero's Hearth cannot fight. If Hero's Hearth gets 16 somehow, maybe they can win the game with the Zeratul power spike, but they're so far behind already that it's rough. But theoretically, if the game just like teleported to level 20 each team, then Hero's Hearth is probably favored. But Team Liquid has done a pretty good job of snowballing it. Not perfect, but definitely pretty good. Biggest issue with this comp is Hanzo. Yeah. They got exploited very heavily for not having real wave clear, real effective wave clear. A noob's only purpose Cocoon? Yeah. I mean, all that a noob does is he burrows in, and then he Qs to chain CC, and he Cocoons someone else. That's the hero. And he's very consistent and very reliable for doing that, but you can't expect him to stand on top of an Arthas and 1v1 him, because he can't do that, and a Diablo can. So, what happens here? Team Liquid is catching all their lanes, and then Garrosh face checks in. What CCs him first? Q, stun, blaze charge, and then VP on the Malf, who tranked. One thing I really appreciated here was Mac reacted really quickly with this VP to isolate Garrosh to make sure he died, because Malf might have been able to keep him alive here. If they had Junk over Zera. If they just have Junk over Zera, Hanzo's actually fine, probably. I think you don't get punished for having the Hanzo then. It's just that the Hanzo with the Zeratul makes your early game so weak. You can't do the night camp, you can't defend the enemy team's night camp, so you should just auto lose the first turn in. And then you had the losing off lane because you early picked Blaze, and they could pick a lot of heroes to win the off lane against the Blaze. And then the enemy team also first picked Garrosh. So they had the winning tank matchup no matter what in the early game, basically. They got the winning off lane because they later picked it than you. And then they also got the winning 4-man overall, the winning wave clear. So Team Liquid just had winning early game everywhere. But this is a nice kill on the Garrosh. But then they overcommit on Jaina with Ishbu. Because every single cooldown got used here on Garrosh. Every single CC ability except the Anu Burrow. Every single damage ability Hanzo had, every single ability Zeratul had got used. And then the new Burrow's over. And now they're overextended. And I mean, they were already overextended decently. But there's a bunker. Hey, look at that. There's a bunch of 10% HP heroes in the bunker, but it still fights you just as effectively. So that's a good kill on Garrosh. That gets them out of the 13 talent tier disadvantage, but that's also all of their ultimates down, other than the Hanzo ult. Joe and not Blaze? Joe is banned. Joe is first ban phase by Liquid. Armor changes? The armor changes are good. They even get in 16 gems with their Tyrande. That's hilarious. They do still need to, like, get out, though. Or... Can this Hanzo arrow hit more effectively? Because the Jane is slowed. I think he could have led this Hanzo arrow better, because the thing is, like, it's a skill shot, and in general, you shoot the skill shot in front of where they're moving, some amount. But he ended up shooting it. Let's slow it down to really slow, so if we can see exactly where he clicked when he shot the Hanzo ultimate. So he clicked here. So he actually shot it, like, at the Jaina's head, effectively, while she was running down, and I think that could have been aimed a bit better, because the Jaina is 40% slowed for 3 seconds by the Zeratul W. So it's not 100% guaranteed hit, but I think it should be more reliable than as it is. I don't know if Jane has done Ice Block. She probably is not. Malf probably has Cleanse up to cleanse it, but just the damage by itself should be enough for Zeratul to Vorpal back in and kill the Jaina. Even if he dies for it, that 1-for-1 is really good for Hero's Hearth because it delays the game more. But without it, Mac can't Vorpal in on the Jaina, and then he gets chased down. I think he gets out here. Yeah, he barely gets out. But Arthas is again ridiculously unkillable, and Crone's the one that ends up dying. He walks up pretty far here. He walks forward as the Phoenix ult is coming up, while the rest of his team's retreating. And that's 25 gems gone. Hanzo main. Yeah, Liquid denied a lot of Hero's Hearth's wave clear, but there was still a Junkrat available. Team Liquid opted to ban Diablo instead of Junkrat, so Junkrat was still a very easy pick for Hero's Hearth. Yeah. Oh god, what is that? That was some interesting graphics. Alright. And like even now, Hero's Hearth's wave clear doesn't improve very much. They need level 16 to get good wave clear. Blaze can hold one lane, and the other two lanes are just awful. Just terrible. They dropped Starfall in this lane, just to try and clear it a bit. 4 to 5 man Salvo, yeah. Salvo is a very, very strong ult, as long as they don't have Bunker. And they didn't have Bunker because it was used at this in this fight here. If they have Bunker, it does literally nothing, and you just wasted a second and a half channeling that. But there's that wall, 16 talent, push this. Also push not into the Starfall that was used mid. You see Blaze bottom, so you got a 5v4. Just run it in. They're looking to punish the wormhole, but Zeratul doesn't take it. That's okay. I mean, they're still just pushing. How do you defend this as Hero's Hearth? I mean, you can Hanzo Q a bit. Alright. Cleanse on the taunt. Hanzo ult gets cleansed. AoE cleanse is very good for Malf in this matchup. So, I mean, a lot of buttons are getting pressed, but nothing's actually happening. None of the health bars are moving for Team Liquid. And I think here, Crowan just walks into a Garrosh and dies. Yep. That's never good. And then Homie even... I mean, what can you do? You see your teammate get thrown in, you try and Bunker to save him, it doesn't work. It's not like it matters. Your teammate's dead, it's still a 5v4. Maybe if you're alive and it's a 4v5, you can maybe contest this boss, but you're down 3 levels. So I don't know. After the Garrosh kill, try to PvE more. The fuck is he doing this game? I don't know. But yeah, that's just a boss. And even with Web Weavers, the boss should be able to end with such a massive lead. And they catch a noob. He has a pre-tap running, but the Q gets unstoppable. He tries to do the same thing where he Qs as the Garrosh throws him to CC him so he can burrow out. But first issue with that, Garrosh unstoppables because he predicts it. Second issue is you're getting thrown into a Malfruit in the first place, so it doesn't even work. I don't even think the Q hit. He had the pre-shield and a pre-tap, but he still just dies. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we're getting there, Twitch chat. Why are you in such a rush? Crowan choked really hard this game? Yeah. Looks like it. Looked like it. HB played really bad this game. It's so hard to do anything as a noob in this game, where you can't pressure their Garrosh. So if the Garrosh walks into you, you just have to run away. And you can't even get on their backline, because your backline damage isn't even good, with just a Zeratul. You can just burrow on Malf out of VP and Cocoon one of the range. Cocoon was... Oh no, Cocoon was up, but they had no cooldowns. Let's spend 10 more minutes on if Hanzo can W on Arthas. I mean, there's complex geometry going on. Hold on. I want to explain why there's so much going into Hanzo W analysis, because it is a not buggy, but it's a wonky ability. Yeah, Diablo was the second ban phase. So let's quickly just show some wonkiness with Hanzo's W. All right? Because theoretically, if you get it pixel perfect, you can hit a W from any angle. As long as there's a corner, theoretically. And I just want to show that quickly. Arcaner, the weak link for Team Liquid. The dragon rages within me. No? Did they have a weak link in this series? Yeah, core is really obnoxious to hit scatters off of. The angles on it are really, really obnoxious. Shoot W behind it. Yeah, I can show that too. Where if you get it right, only on some gates where their geometry is weird, but you can like see like this, my W goes through. But that has to be again pixel perfect, which is if you can stand still and line it up like this. But if there's a Garrosh walking up, you can't just do this to set up your W to get it pixel perfect to go through. So here's the thing with Hanzo's W and corners. So here's a corner. So here's the wall. As you can see, as I slide it along, you know, it just moves around along smoothly. But then we get to the corner, some weird shit starts happening where it goes every single angle along that corner until it goes back to the other wall. And if I want to hit a scatter and someone's standing like here, and let's say this wall wasn't here, I would have to hit this pixel-ish area here to hit that scatter.
Very well.
And then same thing with like this corner, where you can just go all the way along. But this is more smoother because it's a shaved corner. But yeah, like even this corner goes all the way along here. Like I want to hit a scatter on someone behind this wall here, I have to hit this pixel. These like few pixels. But it's like, so like technically it's possible to hit my scatter here, but in practice when there's a Garrosh walking at me here, I'm not able to hit the scatter really. Like I tried to hit the exact pixel where it would go here, and then instead I just shot it down. So I was like, all right. But yeah. Alright, on to the Tempo Storm series, and I see we got a viewer spike just for that. People are probably telling their friends about it, because it was such a really good series. Yeah, alright. So even before the draft started, the casters were saying Tempos are going to have to cheese, and they are probably going to have to cheese, and they talked to them last night, and Tempo said they were going to cheese. So then let's see the cheese. The dankest of cheeses. Alright, so we got some normal bans. Second ban has to ban Maiev and Genji, because those heroes are very balanced. They didn't even cheese properly. Yeah, they didn't do a cheese. They did a banana. Silly Tempo Storm banana. Get out of here. Get out of my BlizzCon, you Tempo Storm banana. Alright, so we got some heroes. You know, so we got Abathur, Soul Support Abathur with some heroes. So I mean, what's this comp supposed to do? I don't know. It's supposed to like split push, I guess, and maybe bribe some camps out with Murky and Falstad. But, I don't know. All these heroes kind of just die to Diablo-Tron combo. Just QE into Tron stun, plus any other hero to follow up. Irel just breaks off an entire lane because you can't push into her because you have no damage to actually hit her. Tempo Storm series almost as good as the Diablo Immortal reveal. Alright. Can't split push with Blade Storm? Yeah, Yuge got it right. Tempo Storm fan, brutal to watch. Show some mercy. Kinda been there? Yeah, we were kinda there. But at least we were only there for one game. We weren't there for 2 games. Or for a full series. Dude, they sucks. If they wanted full split push. Yeah, I mean, like, at some point, you go from a standard comp. Like, let's pull up Paint quickly. So like let's just make a line. All right, so here's a line. So here is standard, which is what Dignitas has right here with these heroes. You know, you got a tank, an offlaner, support, some range DPS, whatever. And then over here, you got like really stupid like medic medevac cheese, backdoor cheese, and like Tempo's comp is like somewhere here ish. So like why didn't you just go here? Honestly. 'Cause yeah. Why not just like instead of doing some fancy pants Samuro stuff, just take your medic and just level 10 medevac to their keep and then medevac to their core. I don't think that works either, but at least it's I don't know. Tyrael, medic, Raynor. And Raynor's actually like a meta pick, so it's actually you don't tell the enemy team is not signaled that you're cheesing as early as Tempo Storm signaled it. Because as soon as you see these first 2 picks, Dig says, I mean, Tron's still broken, Raynor's still broken, we'll pick those. But they're at least somewhat aware that cheese is happening, and they ban Zhou. That's their anti-cheese ban, because Joe would just be better than Murky. Whereas Swoi, he's back in Korea. He left after Western Clash, I think. The comp in theory works. Does it when you give the enemy team Diablo Tyrande? Does the comp actually work? Does the comp actually work on Volskaya Foundry against Diablo Tyrande? No, he just left. The entire reason he came in the first place was because he was expecting to become a player, but there was miscommunication between Tempo Storm and Blizzard about if they would be given an exception for an import, and then they weren't. So then he was kind of just there, and then he was a coach for a bit, and then he wasn't a coach, and then he went home. He got debated like most HOTS players. Most pro HOTS players. Yeah, so we're finally here. So let me get into Tempo wasn't paying him. Damn, he got super debated. At least we get some money in HGC. Alright, so let's talk about Galau on Samro, because when we were preparing for the playoffs, and a bit before that, on Octalysis, we were the ones, I think we were the team that first played Samro. I cannot guarantee that for sure. If it was us, if it was Heroes Hearth, I think it was for sure not Tempo Storm that played it first. I think they got it from somebody else. So someone started playing Samro, then Tempo Storm started playing it too, in scrims, and then whenever they would play it, every single game, Galau would go Bladestorm. He would never go Illusion Master. So let me actually pull up a spreadsheet right now, real quick. Hold on. This will take a second. I need to filter some things on the spreadsheet, and I will not be showing this on stream. This is private. Alright, and let's do the next filter, which is, which one? This. Alright. Only one game. Alright. But yeah, I think there was more than one game. Maybe I'm not filtering the things properly, but yeah, we played against it a few times in scrims, and he never went Illusion Master. He always went Bladestorm. Yeah, I don't even think he ever played it in Hero League, really. Maybe he played it on a Smurf, an anonymous Smurf. Galau's Brightwing was better last year than his Samro here. You might be right. The private Galau weird shit compilations, sure. But yeah, I mean, the entire point of Samro, he's not there to team fight. He's not there to... And we looked at the DPS, and Bladestorm's DPS is about the same as just your auto attack DPS. And it's on a 110-second cooldown, and the only thing it gives you is unstoppable and AoE damage. So I mean, the entire point of Samro, especially in this comp, is he goes and he split pushes, and then the enemy team shows up, and then he swaps to a clone and he escapes. But then when you don't have Illusion Master, your swap's on a higher cooldown, your clones are less tanky, and Bladestorm doesn't actually do anything. So I don't know. I know that Tempo Storm has been practicing with Samro at least a little bit since before the playoffs, and even from that time until now, they still have not gotten to the Illusion Master point on their Samro. So that is one thing that I was talking about when I was talking about Galau's limited hero pool, is yeah, you also miss out on the whatever the damage buff is for Illusion Master. So hold on, I need to pull up YouTube really quick. get in the game. Because this is all that Dignitas is hearing during this game, as they run around the map and just kill target hero. Alright, let's get started. So we got some side lane clear early from tempo. Puffer gets killed before it even goes off. Could have pre-puffered there, because it is a 3-second timer. If you throw it down before the mini wave even comes together, you know what position they'll come together in. Alright. Yeah, Sam, Sandro. What is Cloud doing? What happened? What's he doing now? I don't know how to play Samro. I'm not a Samro player. Oh, he's chasing Arel. He's trying to fight Arel. Oh no, it's a clone. Alright. That's his clone cooldown down. Whose draft idea was this? I don't know. Hero League Murky has more strategic weight? Yeah. Alright, there's a camp. Let's do a camp. Oh hey, Diablo. Too bad we can't do anything about that Diablo that just scouted 1v3. I mean, they didn't even need a Diablo scout. They've got Tron map hacks. Oh yeah, yeah. He's... Oh, right at level 1, he tried to backdoor the tower when Arel showed up. Alright, that's not very great. So there's turret camp trade. At some point, Dignitas will force health pack, if they feel like it. If this is NA number 2, how bad is NA 3 to 8? It's hard to tell, because NA number 2 gets the privilege of playing on, oh, there it is, on Western servers with a ping advantage. So how'd this happen? It looks like Diablo pressed Q and then E, and then Tron stunned, or Tron just didn't even stun, and then they killed him. I mean, I'm not sure what you expect. That's just Diablo pressing Q and E. Cloud knows any of them. Can I get song name to use this for HL? Alright, so there's the health pack camp. Casters trying to make it serious? Yeah. Even the casters, even the analysts could not give any credit to this. Oh, there goes your pufferfish and a murky. Nice. How are they so far behind in experience already? The health pack camp gives a ton of experience. A ridiculous amount. Alright, Samro, go do a thing. Oh wait, there's a Phoenix. You can't really do a thing, can you? Alright. False, can you do a thing? Spin in circles, that's a good trick. Oh, get jumped on by a Rel. Half your HP gone? That's a good trick. Nice. Here comes Junkrat. Oh, there's the Murky. What's he doing there? He's cutting the wave. Got him. You gonna be able to push in bottom now against that Arel? No, the enemy team has more heroes than just Arel, and they don't need to do anything else anywhere else. Oh, your Murky's dead. Ruin Murky's win rate in BlizzCon. Yeah, Samro's playing Samro is a lot like playing Vikings, to be honest. Nothing but microing 3 heroes around and then just running away from enemy heroes that you see. So there's Murky. He didn't get on the point in time to hold the cap, though even if he did try to. There's some mines. Hello, mines. Good thing if anyone steps through those mines, they'll die, right? Yes. Samro's easier than Vikings? Probably. He has more get out of jail free cards on a lower cooldown. Such smart plays. Yeah, look at this macro. Oh yeah, Fan. Get him. Yeah, E over the wall. Got him. Got the Phoenix Q is down, boys. Let's push their fort now. Oh wait, what's that? It's on like a 13-second cooldown? It's already back up? Oh, that's an issue. Alright, we got a tower. Good trade. Tree glove for tower. Got him. Level 4 talent? What does this even do? Is this a quest or something? Pulling up the wiki right now. I don't know Samro talents either. Alright, so there's a Tree Glove. Tree Gloves are pretty strong. But Tempo Storm can defend against it, right? With their Junkrat, that can defend against the Tree Glove. Let's see. While I look at Samro talents on the other screen. Oh, it gives the 30 armor. Yeah, that's probably worse than the 30 armor while you have your trade up. Probably. 3 seconds from while you're in stealth and when it ends. Oh, Falstad's dead? Oh no. What could you ever do? There's no counterplay to this OP Tree Glove. Definitely could have not been backing there. That's fine though. Oh no. This entire fort died. You're down more than an entire level, almost 2. Enemy team hasn't had to use a single turret or health pack the entire time. What do you got in return? This turret? You maybe cut this wave one time? Nice. Nice. Yeah, get him, Glau. Good trade. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, got him. Oh, he stealthed. Oh, got him. Been making plays here. Oh, here comes Falstad. Oh, got the health pack. Good thing they're gonna get another one right now. Oh, got him. Can we stop this replay here? Why? I've got more viewers than I got the entire night. And it's 2:30 a.m. Goku goes at 4 talent too, does he? Not anymore? Alright. Falstad fly on cooldown. That'd be a 75-second cooldown on this patch. Goku literally doesn't go that anymore? What are you talking about, milk and cookies? Don't make me ban you from chat. Spreading false information. Alright, Cattle. Your rotation's been scouted. Your location's compromised. This Sorel is literally chasing this Murky in circles. Oh, yeah. Look at this 4-man. It's gonna push this wall. What's the Samuro getting for value? He just respawned. And he's map hacked now, so they know where he is. Oh, the owl didn't hit, though. That's 100 damage down. Alright. What's the camp respawn timer? 10 seconds? Oh, look at those mines. Oh, they're gonna one-shot somebody. That's every single mine that Abathur has had for the entire game. That have all gone there. Been invested. Oh, there goes 3 of them. That's not good. Okay. Oh, and Dignitas saw it coming. How could they have seen this coming when they saw the Murky hanging and running in circles here for the past minute? What a genius, snitches. 2 billion IQ. Best player in the world right there. Whoa. Oh my goodness, did you just see that Tyrann's HP bar? Do you know how much mana that cost that Tyrant to heal up? Like 10 mines? Cost her 30 mana. Cost her more mana than it would cost White Man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Clone that Samuro. Yes. Oh yeah. Don't even send the real Samuro in there. He doesn't have Illusion Master. He's not safe here. Definitely don't want 2 Samuro DPSs here. June doesn't even do the swaps properly to keep his clones healthy. Oh, good thing the real Samuro is getting lots of value against the Arel. And Murky, whatever you're doing. Murky's in the bottom / mid lane. Whatever the hybrid for that is, you know? Is he putting his egg down there? Or is he waiting to cut the wave? Oh, there's Falstad. What are you gonna do now, Falstad? Gust. Yes. Yes. Best player in the world. But he made space. Space created for Murky to cut this minion wave. Do you know how much gold Murky got from that minion wave? 0. Because minion waves don't give you gold in this game. What was that clone supposed to do? It took half the tower. What are you talking about? Oh, whoa. What happened here? Whoa. Phoenix got octo-grabbed. And then Samuro showed up and did the massive, massive Blade Storm damage. Look at that Blade Storm damage on the Urel. She almost died from it. He got the turret down before he died, so they didn't steal it. Go, Glaurung, you can escape from this Urel that has mount up instantly. Keep running, Glau. Doesn't matter that you're scouted by the Tyrant Owl and you can't escape. You can still live. Just Illusion Master out. Oh, Diablo's 1v2ing with his health pack, which is basically another hero for him. Yeah, almost as if he would have died fast from autos, for sure. Oh, there's the bubble dodge. Got him now. That was a 2,000 second cooldown Tyrant stun there. He went all in on that ability right there, and it's on cooldown for the rest of the game. Outplayed so hard by that 12-second Murky bubble. Oh wow, another health pack camp and a tree glove? Play the Kaldor comment? Nah. Everyone already saw that one. Oh yeah, he's getting the minion wave. Definitely not the focus of the game is the tree glove. That's definitely not destroying an entire fort. Got the minion wave. Didn't even get the globe though. Globe is collected, -1. Oh, here it comes. The minion wave's not there to scout it anymore. Oh yeah. Phoenix is already here. Look at this macro play. Alright, this is like the one like remotely relevant thing in this game. So Dig is pushing up here, And the only hero they see defending here is Junkrat, and they see Falstad here, and they see Murky cut the wave. So Phoenix is already here at their keep defending for when the Samuro goes for this garbage, because they already saw it once before. So Phoenix is already here. So they got this, they finished off this half HP tower, and they're not going to get any more because Phoenix was already here, because it was so obvious, because there's no one defending the Tree Glove. There's no one defending the Tree Glove, so it's just taking your keep. Look at Raynor. What are you going to do about this Raynor? He doesn't even have a team with him. They're all in the Tree Glove. But it doesn't matter. Oh, this is another cool thing. Right here, what's going to happen is, right as the Tree Glove dies, they use the melee one's shield ability, and because the shield has a lasting area, it's not just instant effect. What that means is that right as the Tree Glove dies, the shield goes on the heroes that were inside of it, and that's actually really nice. Really nice mechanics. So right here, shield right as it dies, and the heroes got the shield as they popped out. And that is actually very important for Xaylia surviving here. That's one nice thing to say. That is why he lives here. Because of that shield out of the Tree Glove. Very, very on-point mechanics from Dignitas, even though they're playing against the trolliest shit I've ever seen. Even taking Hyperion, which I think is the better ult in general, because Banshee is absolute cancer to micro. It is so unresponsive and does not like being microed at all. And there's the keep gone. Alright, let's eat some spaghetti. Look at that, face snake the wall with your Tron 7. Get that Murky. You won't die if you take shots of apple juice. Hey. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lead with the Tron stun. No way he can react to that. Best player in the world. Tron stun. That was a 2000 cooldown Tron stun, actually. It was so fast. Did you see it? Hold on. Did you see the Tron stun? It was so fast. Look at that. How do you react to that? No escape from that chain CC. Inescapable. Is Samuro even pushing? I can't tell. I feel like he's not pushing. But he does have armor. Armor's pretty strong. Look at that Murky. Look at that Murky. Oh, hold on a second. Is that Murky okay? Is that Murky gonna be okay? Okay. Can't even outright. What? What's Illusion Master? Look at stats for a moment after the game? Yeah, let's pull up Master League. They're probably pretty hilarious. Wow, would you look at that? Wubby's the best player on his team. He had the most hero damage. Look at that. Rip Tire to clear a minion wave. Amazing. Here it comes. Are you ready, Twitch chat? Spam your tornadoes in Twitch chat. Spam your tornadoes in the Twitch chat, because it's happening. Spam your tornadoes in the Twitch chat, everybody. Oh, it's only a 4-second duration. Doesn't give move speed. Wow, how many health packs have Dignitas got in this game? It's almost like they have 4 heroes. They have a Tyrande, who's the best support in the game, and then health pack, the second best support in the game. Oh, Falstad wants it. Oh, get it, Falstad. Get it. Get that cannon minion too. Oh, hold on a second. This is a problem. Hold on a second. We're having some issues here. At least Murky's having fun. Cattle's having a lot of fun this game. Oh yeah, bribe that camp, Murky. Oh, you got one shot by a Raynor Q. Damn. Hating on their outside the box thinking. This worked in one scrim. I'm pretty sure what we saw earlier today in this in the first match, the one played Grayman and Nubrak. So what I think was happening was Tempo Storm was screaming against the 1 because nobody else wanted to scrim these 2 teams because they were too weak. So what happened was Tempo Storm played Greymane and Noob against the 1 and beat them with it, and then Tempo Storm played this stuff against the 1 and also beat them with it. Dig's comms were like, they're probably decently serious-ish. Alright, here it comes. 3rd tree glove of the game, and it's over. But Samro's racing on core. Who's gonna win the core race? Get that small wall, Samro. Fan, you're almost getting 1v1 by a turret. Be careful. Oh, there's the Octo Grab. Pufferfish, Riptire, and his health bar literally didn't even move. Wow. Does Riptire do damage? I think they need to patch that, actually. Look at this guy's face. Look at this guy's face. That guy's face. They all have faces. They're disappointed. They're not enjoying themselves. They want to play against Genji. Why do we have to play against these monkeys before we get to play against Genji? Where's Tempo Storm? Can we see Tempo Storm's faces? Can we see Tempo Storm's faces? Come on. Camera guy. We saw Dignitas's faces 3 times, but zero Tempo's faces. What's the issues with Tempo Storm lately? Psalm carried them pretty hard, and they've never been a good team at lands. Dig would rather play the 1? Probably. Alright, we can turn off the Benny Hill music, at least for now. We'll pause it. We're halfway through it. Alright, let's pull up the stats, because people want to see that a lot. So, Wubby's the best player on his team, because he has the most hero damage. Also, Azalea did more damage than 1 other person. JPL, you suck at the game. Also, Snitch, you're a feeder. Fan's the best player in the world. Good job, June, you had 0 deaths. Damn, that's a 7. That means he's 7th. That's the 7th best performance ever on Falstad that this site has ever recorded. That's pretty good. Sure. Sure. Oh, those are all level 20 talents. Where are theirs? I think the site is bugged. Tempo Storm won this game, right? How did they win the game without level 20 talents? That's a mystery. That's a mystery. Here's Kaldor. Let's listen to him rage.
If you
it's
go,
right here.
if they come at me and say later, okay, listen, we misclicked the Blade Storm, then maybe I get it. But you have an avatar
Nope, they didn't misclick it. Cloud takes Blade Storm every game, man.
Have a global that is
I should be on the analyst desk. I know more than this Johnny Sins guy. Come on, man.
Play that style, I kind of get it. But going then into the Blade Storm, playing it also with the Octo Grab where your opponent on level 1 already...
20 Blade Storm? What does that even do?
What are you trying to do? They got farmed the entire game. There was not a single moment when you felt, okay, there is maybe a bit of a chance.
Wait, they killed Snitch.
Honestly, like, I expected a lot more from Tempo Storm. I am insanely disappointed right now.
I think on one side, if we see the Hinterland Blast come out instead of that Mighty Gust, and you go on the full idea of, okay, we also grab a target and we blow them up, I
see, Trick Slayer should be drafting for Tempo Storm.
Now, again, the same point comes to fruition once again. You have to have a
Trick Slayer should be the one drafting for Tempo Storm.
You have to make sure that you're even in experience. When you are running that comp, level 13 is your
even on experience? Alright. Just make sure that you push into the Irel early, and then when they get the Tree Glove, you don't lose an entire fort and don't die to it. Very simple execution right there.
A bit more conviction, quite honestly. I want to see some conviction in actually how they play this.
Yeah, Trick had to put a lot of effort into that. Trick is earning his paycheck right there.
How much practice went into it?
How much practice went into it?
Execute on the idea of what that comp was looking to achieve. They had
Not
the
sure.
dust a few times and getting
You'd have to ask Tempo.
being able to actually use it. So, you know, you have a shaky early game that transitions into a weak mid game. That power spike that you're looking to achieve just never actually comes into
Yeah, the only reason the 2015 Mercury Leora comp worked was because the other team didn't know how to deal with it. But it's 2018. Everyone knows how to deal with this garbage. Tempo were bots that game? Ooh.
Republic of Gamers.
Is that why they didn't show Tempo Storm? That's an interesting conspiracy theory. So, Tempo Storm actually did not play the entire match against Dignitas. They did the draft, maybe? Maybe that was actually just bots locking in random heroes. That would make sense. So Tempo Storm, they went on the stage, like, early here, wherever that stage thing happened. Like, somewhere around here. So here the stage thing happens. And here's Tempo Storm. Okay? And then after this happens, they actually just leave the stage. And then bots just draft, and bots just play the game. Whoa. And that's why there's no camera shots of Tempo Storm after this initial one, because they weren't even on the stage anymore. And there definitely wasn't a live audience at BlizzCon. Those are all bots, too. Oh, wait, there they are. Hold on. They sit down. Yeah. And then maybe there's some, like, fake camera shots here that were pre-recorded of Tempo Storm in the draft. But then as soon as the game actually starts, they're gone. They're not even... This is all bots. Whoa. Kala went into hiding this series? I don't know. They played on the second server? Yeah. Maybe Tempo Storm was like, hold on. Could we play this server on Central, and also we fly out to Central servers right now, so that Dignitas has 60 ping? That's what we're used to in regular HGC, North American HGC, is that the enemy team is playing with 60 ping higher than us. If that doesn't happen, we're just gonna quit the game and turn into bots. Whereas Kala, he doesn't coach the team anymore. He's just a content creator, I think, for Tempo Storm. But I'm not sure about that. Alright, second game, I guess. So, really early Zera Diablo. It was really strong in the group stage. Just VP them, then APOC them. And then you can win the team fight off of just that. There's an Arthas. That is a really early Arthas pick. Pretty surprising to pick that instead of a Garrosh. But at least the rest of the heroes picked here makes sense. Kala, yeah, he's a streamer. Okay. They don't have a coach, I think. There's Vin. Damn. He had a lot of fun watching StarCraft on the StarCraft stage while the match was being played. And now he's back. Now he's like, oh, I just want to be watching StarCraft right now. Come on. Come on, bots. Lock in the Murky again, and I'm going back to StarCraft. No, Kala doesn't coach anymore. No, yeah, I mean, this was something I actually want to talk about too, is not just the issue of best of 3 being 2 short matches to really definitely prove who's the better team, but also best of 3 encourages the weaker team to cheese. If this was a best of 5, would Tempo Storm pull cheese like that? No, they would play standard, because there would be no way they win a best of 5 through cheese like that. But a best of 3 is very possible to win through cheese. Nobody's done it before, but tons of teams try. They tried in the past, they try now. And that is another issue with best of 3, is that it just encourages the weaker team to just play troll cheese garbage and have really uninteresting matches. Even if Tempo was winning this first match, it would have been like, kinda, haha, good job Murky team, but it would also be, everyone would be thinking, this is absolute cancer, hopefully Blizzard nerfs this soon, if the best team in the world can't deal with this garbage. But, yeah, that's another issue with best of 3, along with all of the other ones. The format, yeah. Everyone knows that Mid-Season Brawl is the actual biggest tournament of the year, even though it has a smaller prize pool. Not everyone. Casual viewers might not be aware of that, because they enjoy seeing these troll picks. I saw a ton of Reddit posts when the troll Leftovers versus Luna Meow match got played. They're like, oh wow, I saw Murky getting played and you won a game at BlizzCon. That's so crazy. Look at all the hero variety at BlizzCon. Dig is super pissed and going to destroy them. Dig doesn't care. I mean, it's just BlizzCon. It's a 2-day event, for whatever reason. So, all the tournaments there have to be 2-day events too. And all of the major esports that Blizzard has don't even get their tournaments run here. Like, the Heroes, the Hearthstone World Championships don't get run at BlizzCon. The Overwatch World Championships, they have this, like, these show matches with the country-based teams at BlizzCon, but other than that, no. Only like, StarCraft and Heroes and, like, Warcraft, World of Warcraft have have their world championships run at BlizzCon. It sucks. This game was actually winnable. Was it? Was it? This is a Hammer last pick. It was, from what I remember. Vikings on towers. They're pretty good. They're not terrible, but they're also worse than Dragonshire. With Vikings, like on Dragonshire, if the enemy team can't deal with the Vikings, then you're just winning the game the whole time, from the early game to the late game. Whereas on towers, your big advantage with Vikings on towers is when the triple caps spawn. That's when you have to get your big advantages. And then when there's only a single cap that spawns, you're at a disadvantage. When there's a double cap that spawn, you're about even. But then as the game goes later on to like higher levels, then you're at a bigger and bigger disadvantage just over time because of the scaling. There was one window? Okay. Dig was that serious? Super insulted? Sure. So yeah, this is Sergeant Hammer last pick. So Dig has the Zeratul already to deal with the Vikings. They have a Blaze, 2 early soak. So already Dig's draft is way, way, way better against the Vikings, and they have a Hammer who is actually good at running it down the lane in case things go wrong. And just in general pressuring one lane so that Tempo Storm can't just 4-man around the map. Because again, Tempo Storm has the map hack advantage, but Tempo Storm will have to respond to the Hammer. Whereas when Heroes Hearth went against the Lost Vikings, they had no way to pressure, to force Team Liquid's 4-man to respond to them. They had a 5v4? Is it a 5v4 when you have Vikings? Snitch said he was disappointed. And I mean, even in the early game, they don't have a Jaina for the early burst follow-up. They still should have enough damage for Diablo before he gets enough souls, but as it gets later on, if Diablo's with his team, he's not under one-shot threat, which is a big deal. Whereas Heroes Hearth was always under one-shot threat on all of their heroes, including their Garrosh. Alright, there's a pick-off on Poik. Playing way too far up. Not sure where his sprint is either, because he could just sprint after this knockback and he's safe. This is actually really disrespectful. And his knockback is even late, so it doesn't. He takes the Q damage from the Kerrigan. He could have knocked back a lot sooner and canceled her Q damage, knocked her back even further, so she wouldn't be in Q range or combo range. So this is actually a big misplay by Poik. And ALL has more credibility now. Yep. And it sucks that the league format for NAHGC does not send the best team every time because of the server issues. So this messes up Dignitas's lanes a bit. Also, Tempo Storm is running their lanes differently. They don't have the green one against the Blaze, who would be pushing in. Though in this case, he's coming down because of the camp timing. So Dig is late on this camp because of the Hammer death. But other than that, no big issues. Yeah, I think there should be a competition between, I mean, even second seed from North America and China, with fourth place from Europe and Korea. That would be better for BlizzCon for the competition. Team Freedom wouldn't have done any better, maybe not. I think that Octalus's would have done better. So camps are traded. Blaze is soaking mid from Fog for a little bit until Zeratul gets there because he had to rotate slow. They wouldn't have cheesed so much. Team Freedom just plays. I mean, not strictly cheesy, but they do play like not team fighty. So sprint. Now Poik realizes, oh, I'll just press sprint when the enemy team shows up. That's always good. That's a good trick. And then they're fine. And as you can see, even right now, if there's no focus on Diablo, he's unkillable. Because the focus was split. The Kerrigan combo was on the Hammer and missed. The Tron stun did hit there. The Tron mark is on the Diablo, and they do try to start hitting him, but then Zera shows up, and they're already so low. They're fighting in the middle of a minion wave. They can't even push up on Dignitas's low heroes who can retreat because of the wall there. So they just overextended as soon as the Kerrigan combo missed. Even before then, they were probably overextended. When Hammer used her sprint, pretty much impossible to win that fight. You just have to take the 30-second cooldown and try again before it's back up. Because now this is pushed in. Blaze is double soaking as Vikings already. And this is because this 3-man is able to force Tempo Storm to bring their 4-man to it. And even when Tempo Storm does bring their 4-man to it, they're not getting an advantage. Yeah, we had much better plans for our drafts. Like, I feel like, I can't say this for sure, but I do feel like Tempo Storm definitely, or most likely, copied our Uther main tank from us, but did not understand why we drafted it and when we drafted it. So it was just not effective at all for them. I think that is very likely to be true. And similar could be said for Samuro too. Though that might just be more of a player skill level on the hero / talent choices on the hero issue. Alright. So here Tempo. They have their 4-man mid. They're looking for Zeratul right now. But it looks like Zeratul's out, but they're playing up on this cap. The issue with this for Tempo Storm is they're against a Blaze, who can stall this over the wall, and can't even be pressured effectively. Because, like, there's 2 heroes here hitting him, he's still going to stall this. And because they made the rotation so obvious by walking through this mid-wave, Dig has no map hacks. They don't know where Tempo Storm is unless Tempo Storm shows on minion waves, on heroes, or on the caps. So I feel like Tempo showed too early with this rotation here, running through mid, because they ran directly through this wave. They kind of try not to, but this is 100% vision for Dignitas from this wall to this minion wave. They would have to run through here to be a hidden, and maybe that probably would have been better. But maybe the rotation was too late, that if they rotated like this, Dig might be able to cap before they get there. But then that's an issue with their rotations being too slow, because they were bottom for a while just clearing out this wave that a Viking could have cleared. But when they make it so obvious, you can see, Dig sees these heroes here, and as soon as they see these heroes running up like this, Malf is already running up. Dig still needs to commit 2 heroes here to stop the Viking from stalling in a Viking versus 1 hero with the Viking level 4 talent. But with these stalls here from Blaze, Viking's already dead. Here's a Zeratul. Here's Blaze stalling again. And Blaze will sit there and face tank a Raynor for a while. Now he tapped, and he's back to full HP, and he stalls over this wall now. And this is just gone. And this is, I don't know, maybe in a 4v3 down here against the Sergeant Hammer, Malf, and Diablo, with Zeratul rotating down, you still would lose. It's tough to say. But when you force on this cap against the Blaze, I feel like that's just doomed to never be able to work. Unless maybe your Kerrigan isn't the one capping and she goes for combos for engages, and like the Arthas is the one capping, because he's the lowest threat. Maybe Tehran capping, I don't know. But with your Kerrigan capping, Blaze is just going to stall that for free the entire time, and that's just what happened. And Hammer even got to push bottom by herself after they killed the Viking. Whereas if they went 4 bottom, at the very least, these caps get traded, and then Vikings double soak against Blaze while they 4v4. And maybe their 4v4 is okay. Maybe the Hammer just destroys them too much, because Zeratul is weak early game. Diablo's a bit weak, but he's decent at this point with enough souls. But the Hammer maybe is just too strong against their 4v4. Hard to say. I do really feel like the green one should be the one matching against Blaze, because Blaze should be pushing into the Viking. As soon as Blaze knows where Tempo Storm's 4-man is, he starts pushing very hard. And not having the strong wave clear Viking in the top lane means that this wall will take a lot of damage very quickly. And that's an issue, and that was something that Team Liquid played around by having their green one top. And especially when it's not green one top, Blaze has a lot more time to sit mid and clear this wave safely from range. Whereas if it's the green one up here, he clears the first wave that's pushed in and starts clearing this wave, and Blaze can't sit here for so long, just clearing the wave from long range and scouting the rotations. There's a bribe on top camp, that's good at least. With the reduced respawn time from Viking bribe, I believe. But this wall's already gone, and this is getting pushed in by a Hammer with Hover Siege, and Blaze came down here to try and force the fort down. And if this fort goes down, Tempo Storm will have a very, very hard time getting it back. Nice knockback. Just press all the buttons. Why not? It's not like they have cooldowns other than the sprint. Easier just to leave them in a 1-2-3. Yep, that is literally what it was until he changed it right now. Vikings are pretty well balanced. Maybe they're balanced, but they're also not very fun to play against. The playstyle they encourage and the playstyle they force to play against them effectively is very unfun. So this is a double spawn that isn't very good for tempo. They don't have good heroes to stall this from long range, so it basically just has to be a trade. Maybe if with them seeing Sergeant Hammer bottom, they could have pushed up on this for a bit, but again, Blaze would just stall this for a long time, or maybe for indefinitely, and then Hammer would push bottom fort down. So it's a rough, that spawn is rough, whereas the other double spawn between mid and bottom is a bit more favorable. Not sure, I think, because this, if Zeratul blinked in on the Viking here, he would have killed it. He has enough damage. There's no jump, and the sprint was down. But he doesn't know where the 4-man is, and it's definitely not worth it risking losing your Zeratul for a Viking kill. Hate playing against Abba too. Abba's at least a bit more honest. Yeah, this game actually has some strategy. Here's Tempo hitting mid wall. This is actually pretty good and something they could have done earlier probably. If they felt confident enough, or if they knew enough about where Dignitas's heroes were bottom lane. But it is also risky, because they can collapse on here, as long as they're phase tanking. See Blaze just sitting in their team, but he took too much damage, so there's no engage. But Hammer's pushing bottom at the same time too. And again, if this Hammer was a Hanzo, Tempo could just run it down mid, honestly. Because Hanzo could never push down here. But Dig has a useful hero for dealing with the Vikings, and for doing proactive macro plays. Here's a rotation, there's a sprint, knock back the Arthas. I mean, like, what other hero can be this far forward, isolated, with the rest of their team just sitting way behind them on mounts, and escape like this? What range DPS hero that can actually siege at the same time? None. Only Sergeant Hammer can do this. And before the rework, she wasn't strong in teamfights, but now after the rework where she gets Hover Siege at level 7, she's very obnoxious in teamfights too. Especially with the E, armor, and Unstoppable, made her a lot stronger. Beat Team Freedom next time, face them, move on. Hopefully. I mean, I am only one member of a team of 5, so I can only do my 20 to 25%. Wobby's a bit caught out here. Gets the bunker down, hops out of the bunker, 25 armor. Nice, really nice slow field on the choke, and he gets out. Nice. I mean, maybe not perfectly nice, because he didn't respect the Tempo Storm rotation to mid off of this camp, and he was overextended a bit, and he got caught out trying to make this rotate by Cattle, but he played it well to escape from it. And it really sucks. Bunker is so overpowered, so ridiculous, that it really sucks having that on cooldown. Because that makes Blaze a bigger target when he's isolated, that makes the team fights a lot easier for the enemy team. Yeah, like in League of Legends or Dota, if your team funnels you the resources, you can do 40%, you could do 50%, you could do even more than that, depending on the draft and how the game plays out. Whereas in HOTS, there's no such thing as that. Like, even if there is a comp that is entirely reliant on you, like a double support, double tank, solo DPS comp, even then you're only doing 30% at most. You're not doing more than that. Yeah, at least it's not a 40-second cooldown. Unfortunately, it still increases, it still does ridiculous AoE DPS, gives 25 armor, and is an avatar for every teammate, plus a soft cleanse, plus a dash even, depending on the positioning. So Tempo went to do top camp while their Viking stalled, and they're going to push top, so they're accepting that this bottom fort's dead at this point, which is not a terrible decision. And they also know Blaze's bunker is down, which means that he cannot defend very aggressively at all. Kerrigan could have even jumped on him there, maybe. Yeah, bunker was even dumber on release. Actually ridiculous. Unless you're rich, no. I mean, I guess you could say rich does 25% to 30%, but at the same time, he risks that he ends up doing 10% or lower if he gets punished for overextending, because he does overextend, and he can be punished in a lot of situations. Hanzo into Blaze. Only if he uses it near a wall. I don't think it even gets bonus damage against the bunker, because the bunker doesn't count as a minion or merc or monster. But I'm not sure about that. Hanzo's just not good at pressuring tanks. It's hard to tell who will win, Dig or Genji. Neither of them have been challenged in the playoffs, and even in the group stage they weren't very challenged. Nice block on the charge with the Viking, but there's no damage. There's no team. What was the macro? What was the rotations looking like here? So Kerrigan just decided to rotate top by herself, or she was looking for this flank here and saw an opportunity on Blaze, but the rest of her team wasn't even close to her, so there's no way he dies. Surprised he even tried to juke the combo that much. That gave a lot of time for potential tempo late rotation to show up to follow up on the combo. Yeah, Genji just trolled for a lot of games. A lot of games. Close, maybe like a third, maybe. They were just trolling. Nice scout on the boss. Dignitas is not sure. The best vision ability. When you don't have Tron, you don't have dumb map hack abilities that press one button, check a bush. You actually have to do risky things like that, such as blink over this wall into this bush to check if the enemy team's on boss. That's actual gameplay. Pressing W on Tron and just map hacking this is not real gameplay. Tron W should honestly be a 30-second cooldown or longer. And then give cooldown reduction if it hits a hero or something. Because it's just so stupid and competitive right now. The game that Team Liquid won on Tomb, Genji, first of all, Rich overextended very hard and threw away the massive lead that they had. They were up a level and a half and they were going to get a boss, and then Rich got caught out in the middle of nowhere and died, and then that threw away their entire lead. They couldn't finish the boss, and the enemy team got turned in. And in addition to that, Genji took the wrong 16 talent on their Blaze. Their Diablo did not play as aggressively as he could have. He also took Apocalypse, which was not as effective as I think Lightning Breath would have been, and they, in general, misplayed the team fights. Hammer's just backdooring a well. There's no way you can punish her. Don't need map hacks to just do dumb things like that on Hammer. Oh, enemy team, sprint. XD. And the big thing, especially, is when you have Vikings, when you get into the later stages, you're going to lose more and more of the altars because you're just going to get bullied out by the enemy team's 5-man. So you want to be the team that's ahead on either experience or shots, and they're ahead on neither right now. And they're not ahead on structures either. Nice isolation. Very nice. So Snitch catches Kerrigan a bit isolated, sees the rest of her team, takes the 1v1 trade. He can very easily dodge Kerrigan combo whenever, so she can't really use it. And then as soon as the rest of the enemy team shows up, just blink VP them. His team collapses at about the same time, and then they kill the Kerrigan. Very nice punish. There's the VP APOC, a little bit late, or a little bit early on the VP release. I'm not sure if it was about to... Well, that's actually very bad. His blink was down, and he just walked into a Rainer. They're still going to get the caps, at least. Never should have lost bot fort. They can't hold it against a Hammer. She just keeps pushing camps in and pushing by herself. There's nothing they can do. Even on the 4v3 bottom, they're not stronger. Just because Hammer is so strong. Especially against stuff like a Kerrigan. And now that there are no altars, Blaze, I mean they would like to get these camps out, but Blaze is just gonna go here. And Blaze can kill this fort slowly, by himself because he can poke it with his Q. Q damage level 7. Yeah, they can't do anything to Hammer. There's no counterplay to a Hammer. Tempostorm keep rotating to another lane. Yeah, they rotated top, and then they got the fort. Now they can't go there anymore. They could try and push mid, I guess. This is good, taking this camp while there's Blaze showing top. Blaze has to stop this camp, so this gives them this camp, and then while this camp's being cleared, they should be able to get this camp and at least damage this fort. They probably won't be able to kill it still. I mean, Tempo could try and run it down mid at some point. They're doing it now. But that's always... While VP and APOC is down, they can do this. If VP and APOC are up, which they are very soon, they can get engaged on very easily here. And that's an issue. They're getting an experience lead now. From that Zeratul death, they outsoaked the lanes while Dig was capping the altars. So that's good. These sappers look like they're just going to go in, though. Kerrigan counters Hammer. Wolf. XD. Sometimes I laugh to myself, these players get paid to play the game. Sometimes I laugh to myself, these people get paid to cast the game. That's life. Alright. Snitch is a bit caught. Pretty good. Pretty good combo from Fan. I think he's being a little bit fancy. He could have just queued onto the Zeratul. Though you do want to be... The big thing here, if you queue onto the Zeratul directly, then you're on top of him, and it's a lot easier for him to sidestep the combo. Whereas here, the pull radius of the E is a lot wider at longer range. So it's almost impossible to sidestep at that max range area there. So that's good. Using the Kerrigan ult isn't great. But Dig got baited by a Viking, I guess. Because Snitch just ran under a fort, tanked some minion wave, and then the enemy team showed up, and he also... It doesn't look like he could even have blinked over this bottom wall here. He could have tried to VP to save himself. This is what you're talking about? Okay. Snitch could have blinked to Wubby, could he? Oh yeah, he could have blinked on top of the Blaze and got bunkered, for sure. That would have worked too. Yeah, this ult is just wasted by Kerrigan, because this... Even if you... I don't know, you've got so much chain CC follow-up on your combo, and at most it does a couple hundred damage. They could win the game. Here they could win the game. Alright, so Yuge says they could win the game here. Let's think of this as a puzzle. So it's four forts to 4. Dignitas, you saw Blaze go down here, and you assume the rest of their 4-man is down here. So their 4-man's here, Zeratul's dead. So you have a 4v4, 16 versus not 16. Bunker is down, Kerrigan ult is down. Vikings just cap these 2 shots and you fight here. And then you do bring in the Vikings with their ultimate. Isn't this what they do? Or do they just back off? Do they just eat too much damage from Hammer? I mean, they're trying to fight. They're just eating a ton of damage from Sergeant Hammer. And then Malf gets in with a stall. And then they can't kill Diablo. Because if Fan goes in, he just dies. There's not enough healing for him with the Tron mark used. If Tron saved her mark, maybe Fan could go in on this Diablo or something. But he doesn't go in. I mean, he's so low. Fan's at a 3rd HP just from hammer damage. I mean, maybe if they, like, all in on this Diablo who just uses Spell Shield, maybe they kill him. He drops APOC to peel for himself, and there's still Malfruit off cooldown. It's very spooky, even though Blaze just went back to tap. They need to take this fight? Yeah, maybe they just need to force this fight. Maybe what they need to do is just say, Fan, grow some balls, here's a Tron level 7 talent, go in. If you die, then whatever, it's a bad call. Yeah, that is definitely true, that this is an extremely good opportunity. And, yeah. But yeah, they do kind of... I mean, the issue... I mean, first of all, Arthas comes in too early, eats a bunch of damage. Way too early. He's eating a bunch of damage for free. Then Kerrigan's not here to try and punish the Hammer on sprint. And then Hammer resieges. Kerrigan eats more free damage. And there's a Malf Trank. There's some focus on JPL, nice cleanse. Arthas 16 root. And yeah, Kerrigan doesn't ever go in. And now they're poked out. They're down the Tron 7. They're down Arthas ghouls. Fan probably dies, but they still take the fight. I don't know if they take the fight. Yeah, Fan's pathing here was very strange. I mean, Cattle went too early, and Fan should have just ran straight in to fight, because they should be trying to get the fight here for sure. Yeah, they definitely are very conservative when they're against the Sergeant Hammer. And against Sergeant Hammer, you either all in or you sit there and eat free poke, and then you have to leave. So you have to all in. That's just what you have to do against the cancerous hero. And they don't. They just like. They walk in, eat a ton of free damage on Arthas, he has to use his self-Q, and Tron heals him. And then that Blaze charge was even not very good, and then they use Arthas ghouls, but Fan... I mean, I feel like... I don't know, I don't play Kerrigan, but I feel like he could have just queued onto a tank and then queued onto the Hammer, because her sprint and Unstoppable are down right now, and could have looked for an engage. It's an engage, past a Diablo, past a Blaze, into a Malf that's using Trank, and Hammer probably has her sprint off cooldown already, but... not doing anything, not trying to do anything when you are down so many shots is an issue. Yeah. Yeah, they probably did need to force that fight really hard. That's true. I don't think they win the game. I mean, I think even if they, like, force Dig back here, maybe kill Diablo. Maybe killing Diablo would be pretty good because he loses his souls. But even then, Dig is 20 shots left. even then what's going to happen is Hammer's just going to sit here, hold this fort, while Blaze takes back this fort, and then this fort. And then the experience lead. Because these two trades, the experience is even, but then you have, what, a 20 tier lead for one more fight, and then you get another 8 shots off that, so they're at 12, and then you lose the rest of the shots the rest of the game. I don't think they win. They just, I don't think it's like Fan presses Q twice in combos, and then they win the game, instead of losing it. But, yeah, they do kind of just walk at Hammer and eat a ton of free damage, and then don't do anything. They're all focusing on different things. I mean, Vin's attack moving into the tanks, that's his job, until the Hammer actually gets CC'd. June maybe could have marked the Kerrigan instead of the Arthas, but I don't know. It's on the Kerrigan and the Arthas to find the engage, and they don't. They just face tank Hammer a lot. So yeah, this fort's trading, and then Blaze is going to come back to this fort by himself, and Dignitas is even going to get the chance to hold this bottom fort now, and that's very good for them. Zone for the cap. Yeah, I mean, they tried, but then Malf just walked in through the side bush and didn't get punished at all because Fan was out of position for it, so yeah. Yep. Because that should be a free Kerrigan combo, if we go back one more time. Like, because Malf walks through here and just... But nobody punishes him. There's no punishment on him. I'm Fan super low, but like, right here, like Tron Mark on him, just go in. Tron Mark out heals Hammer DPS. Just straight up, even without the Tron 16 auto attack damage. Vikings post 16 is not so... Yeah, I mean, the Viking stun was also pretty bad. But I mean, yeah, there's just nothing. They don't coordinate with the Viking stun, which is pretty reliable. They don't ever get their Kerrigan in, and they eat a ridiculous amount of free damage from the Hammer. And now they try and go on Hammer again. And Cattle has no ultimate. Tron 7's back up because it's a 30-second cooldown, which is ridiculous. But yeah, now Dig's going to run some camps down the bottom lane. And that's hard to stop when they've got a Sergeant Hammer and a level 16 Zeratul. They just leave? Yeah. They kind of just walk in, lose all their health bars, and then leave. Without actually trying to do something. Alright. Alright. Vorpal in? Yeah. Alright. I mean, you don't have Arthas schools. Oh no, you do. So they just kind of ate a Blaze stun that then didn't get Tron cleanse because their heals were on cooldown, and then they kind of all died. I mean, that's their tool at 16, I guess? I don't know. Because you're walking up on this fort, so you're expecting to get engaged on. And then they don't react properly. Vin misses his Q on the Blaze charge here. That's pretty bad. Completely misses it. And then they get locked down into Blaze charge, Malfruit, into APOC with bunker damage. And now the game should just be over for sure. With the camps bottom plus shots. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that was the one good opportunity they had. I don't think that one opportunity by itself was just, like, flip the game over, they win the game instead of losing it, but it helps a bit. 2 meta picks in? What do you mean 2 meta picks in? Oh, you mean just, like, save their draft? Yeah, they definitely needed a bigger... I think it would have helped to win that one altar there when they had 16 to 15 with the Blaze dead, or with the Zeratul dead, but I think they needed to get a much bigger advantage from their early game from the Vikings, and they just couldn't against Zeratul Blaze. Or maybe... And Hammer. I think they were just pretty countered in the draft. It's their only chance, though. I mean, unless Dig literally wipes in that fight, which I don't expect Dig to, then I don't think Dig loses anyway. 4 more shots in the angle to retake bot. I don't think they can retake bot. I think even if they do fight, I mean, unless they win the fight really hard, I think they're still too low to retake the bottom fort. Because even if it's like 3 or 4 half HP heroes against just Hammer Malf, they can't retake this bottom fort. With Zeratul coming back, especially. I mean, this is a big mistake from Snitch. Just getting caught out here and not blinking to his bunker. Dig could play Temple Storm draft in first game and still win. Maybe. Alright, but that's it for Temple Storm. See you next year. Now we've got 2 Korean teams. As I described the Korean teams in the group stage, they have no macro. They're just good at team fighting, so they just pick team comps, whatever team comps, and then they try and smash into each other 5v5. They don't do any rotations. They don't do any Abathur or Vikings. They don't even... I mean, they kind of use globals, but that's it. They can use a Dahaka, but beyond that, their macro is non-existent. So there's a Maiev. Abathur was banned instead. Maybe they can use Abathur on Towers of Doom. The second altar fight? Which fight was that? You mean on this game? Miracle vs Tempest? So there's Diablo and Deckard, Tyrande is banned, and Medivh is banned. Alright, there's a Dahaka, prioritized over Blaze or Irel. Irel has actually, I think, been just prioritized, except on Full Sky, I think, she's just been lower priority than Dahaka or Blaze. Volskaya and maybe Tomb. There's a Joe ban, that's a bit interesting. Joe ban instead of a Nubrak, which is what Heroes Hearth used to dive with the Maiev and the Dahaka. And Sergeant Hammer ban. Yep, get that cancer out of here. Was not nerfed hard enough. More or less permabanned? Okay. They can use Abathur. How good is Miracle? Did scrim any Koreans now when they were here? No. Octalysis is not scrimmed since we lost in playoffs. So they do get Zera Diablo, which was banned by other teams, but they had to ban Sergeant Hammer. I mean, they had to make a choice, unless they wanted to leave up one of these heroes instead. And there is Whitemane Garrosh. So their follow-up for a Maiev engage on the backline is only Dahaka. Garrosh will have a lot of trouble following up on that, past a Diablo and Zeratul. But if they manage to just get a tether on the Diablo and isolate him, there's no cleanse for him, and they could focus him down very easily. So there's Blaze, last pick, sure. Comatose crowd, I have the sound muted. Silly Twitch chat. Alright, so global advantage, early game advantage for Miracle, from the global, plus Garrosh and Maiev, being able to win the 1v1 against Zeratul in the mid clear. And then also Diablo's weak early, Zera's weak early. Even Hanzo is pretty weak before level 7, is a big damage spike for him. Oh, okay. There's the cloud. There's the crowd. Alright. Look at these teams just smash their face into the other team 5v5. Starting in the side lanes, clearing those when you're the losing 5-man. Nah, still smash our face in 5v5. Definitely smash your face in 5v5. That is always the plan. Just out-team fight them. And I mean, Tempest did kind of out-team fight them right there. With the 3-man blaze, with Diablo baiting cooldowns. And not being chain CC'd off of the Garrosh throw with a Dahaka tongue or Maiev tether. And then the counter engage blazed on 3-man stun into 3-man root with Deckard. And then, I mean, what are you doing, Dahaka? You're getting messed with by a Zeratul here. You're half HP. And then you decide, yeah, this is a great time to walk up to the minion wave. Definitely wouldn't just die to Zeratul by himself body blocking me, but there's the entire enemy team. Because, I mean, is Dahaka supposed to be psychic? How does he know? How does he know that Tempest? Or how is he supposed to know that Tempest is up here? Well, it's pretty easy because you cleared mid, and then right here your 4-man ran down here, and they saw literally no one running down here, and they saw Hanzo W. And then nobody was down here except Hanzo clearing the wave. So it should be pretty obvious when your Garrosh is walking through here like this, and he sees literally nobody on the enemy team, that they're not bottom lane. So that's a feed. Stop feeding. teamfight all over is the future? No. No. After the changes, I'm not sure on this, but my first impression, potentially, is that all the teams just run around and not really do anything and wait for level 20. That might be the meta next year. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully because one nice thing, quick thing about the changes, the very nice thing, this is a similar thing that Riot Games does, is they do preseason changes where after Worlds is over and before the next competitive season starts, they make very big changes to the game because it gives them a lot more time to figure out how those changes actually work and then tweak them to make them actually do what you want them to do. So hopefully that's what Blizzard is going to do. Hopefully they don't just patch those changes in and then never change it for the next year, like they did with dumb garbage like Maiev and Blaze. So that Dahaka death gave Tempest a decent experience advantage. Whole wave was caught by Maiev, was it? When he died? Nope. So that's a lot of experience. He missed a few minions. So nothing insane because he dug, but that is a dig down here. And Tempest is getting this camp out, which they should not have been able to do. Because what should normally be happening, if the lanes were just static, everyone already started in their lanes, like not 5-man mid, it would end up being Dahaka versus Blaze top, Maiev versus Zera mid, Garrosh and Diablo here in between, watching each other, and then Hanzo Deckard here against White Mane Raynor. And in that situation, Maiev wins against Zeratul. And she should be able to clear the wave first, she should be able to roam first. It should never be a situation where Zeratul gets the top, starts the camp with Blaze, 2v1, and manages to finish it without Maiev showing up or doing something on the other side of the map. Whereas with Dahaka dead and Miracle behind on the tempo for the map, they can't invade this camp. They just have to sit there, lose top camp, get that pushed in, hopefully push in this bottom camp, but maybe not. Zeratul's a little bit slow coming down to soak mid, so maybe this camp does go in, but Tempest should be able to get this camp out now. If they collapse on this in time, which they might be able to. Yep, so they collapse in time. Miracle tried to invade it a little bit. They did get their camp in bottom, but Tempest got a camp in top, and now they're getting this camp out uncontested. No camp from Miracle defending it, helping defend it. What are people talking about in chat? I mean, that is how the wave goes in if you don't do anything, or that's just how the wave is, just as an equilibrium, is it will be mid. So it is a long lane for the off lane, but you're already half HP, you already know Zeratul's up here, and you haven't seen the rest of any team bottom side, so you should just be under your gate. Just lose some minions, at least until the enemy team shows. At least tap before you walk up like that. Do something. And also, I believe Dahaka's dig is down for at least a short window here, so Tempest could try and push this in, though it's hard. And Maiev's down here, so Zeratul's getting the mid clear. So Tempest is sacking, trying to push in this camp, when the dig timing should be coming up pretty soon, so that Zera can get the mid clear over Maiev. He did lose miss a lot of minions there, unless his Q damage last hit them. Oh no, his Q damage last hit them. Okay, he got all the experience. So now Zeratul has the rotation advantage over Maiev. They also have a half level lead, which is very nice. From their purely from the Dahaka kill, and then the macro afterwards. The follow-up. Get a kill, do something with it. Here's a triple spawn. Dahaka dig is back up, so that is an advantage for Miracle, where Blaze will have to be mid to bottom, while Dahaka gets to just soak the lanes until he wants to dig down for an engage. And if you try to engage on the enemy team, then Dahaka digs in and you're overcommitted most of the time, and you get punished. Especially with the bushes being so good on this cap, on this altar. They're good on both of them, so. So there's Blaze. He's not going to go top lane for the next few minutes. In addition to that, Miracle's 4v4 is a lot stronger. They do have, Tempest does have decent stalls with Deckard and Hanzo, which Miracle is not even really trying super hard to stop. They're going to sit back as 3. Maiev soak mid. With Blaze top, this is still a theoretical 4v4 situation. And now Zeratul has to leave, so now it's a 4v3 situation, and Miracle can push back up as soon as they scout the Zeratul mid, which they just did. Step up, pressure the cap again. Hanzo's E actually wasted, That's a big deal, but Deckard is still stalling. But now Zeratul stuck catching this, and now it's going to be a theoretical 5v4 or 5v3 situation. Not sure if theoretical is the best word for it, but I think it makes sense. And even here, they could look for an engage here. The Haka is catching Soak, though. But if it's just like a Garrosh throw on the Diablo, with the Haka digging in right at the same time, or even the Haka digging on this with Zera caught by Tether, no, he is Blink. Alright, so far Tempest has actually managed it pretty well with their stalls, with a Hanzo and Deckard. But now things are bad. So, the big thing was that Tempest, until now, was able to stall without getting punished by Garrosh with their Deckard and Hanzo. Hanzo should not be able to get punished from here, his E range, but Deckard, maybe there could have been punishes, where when Deckard has to walk up, because when Hanzo's E is down, he can't stall. The only stall is coming from Deckard, and if Garrosh was sitting in here, because you know Deckard's sitting here in the lane, then when he walks up for cube or triangle range from here-ish, you can throw him much more easily. Octalysis is... nothing is confirmed or anything with even the roster. So this time, Blaze is mid. Maiev rotated ahead of Zeratul slightly, and Hanzo... what happens to Hanzo? He just has a Garrosh walk into him. It looks like he's trying to set up for the angle for his W. And this is what I showed in try mode. You have to get the pixel perfect angle to get this angle to bounce to the Rainer. And he has to stand still to even try to set that up, because if you're moving, it's pretty much impossible to get. So he tries to stand still for it, but then that lets a Garrosh walk into him, and that's bad. So then Garrosh presses Unstoppable, throws him in. There's a Haka dig. There's a 5v4. They're also trying to kill Deckard, but they missed the tongue. He should still be dead, though. And meanwhile, Zera is just beating up on this white main, but she's actually really, really tanky. Yeah, balanced support heroes. Where a Zeratul just goes and 1v1s you. I'm not sure if he needed to be channeling his W for longer. Oh, he does channel him extra duration there. I'm not sure if he needs to be auto-attacking more. Maybe he could have run... when he runs here, if he ran up, he would have lived for sure, but he ran down, which was bad. But, yeah, what other support just sits there and face tanks a Zeratul for that long? Tehran does. Deckard does. Those are all balanced support heroes. White main almost does. So, I think Miracle did misplay losing their white main like that. I think it was a miscommunication, where they tunneled on the Deckard kill, and then white main also kited the wrong direction. No, it wasn't miscommunicated. They got the Deckard kill. Maybe someone could have peeled off of the Deckard kill sooner, like Rainer right here. They needed all their damage on the Deckard to kill him, actually. So, they needed to be 4-man focusing the Deckard, and they couldn't help their white main during that duration, but they still got a 3-for-1, and the cap, which is very nice for their global advantage. In exchange, Blaze gets a lot of push top. Well, not a lot, because most of that push was from the camp earlier, but there is a lot of soak mist and a decent bit of push. But Miracle, with all those deaths, they invade this camp and push it in, and now it's Miracle's turn to have the uncontested bottom lane camp. And Haka dig should be coming up pretty soon, that they can push in their camp with, potentially. They probably don't want to commit to Haka dig, but if Blaze is top lane, they could try and push it in very hard. It won't give them an experience advantage, so that might not be worth it, because you only get half the fort. Here's Garrosh. He got his 45-second cooldown. Feels good, man, getting a 45-second cooldown instead of a kill. White main just auto-hacks there, she lives. I'm not sure. I'm not a support player. I'm not sure if standing and auto-attacking or orb walking, like kiting and auto-attacking a little bit, would be better. I do think he messed up when he didn't kite towards his team at the very least. That was a mistake for sure. Alright, so Dahaka's double soaking with a little bit of help from his team before the camp walked in, and now his team is 4-manning. Garrosh is scouting the flank, and looks like the level 10 timing isn't great for Miracle. I think this was the altar fight that Military Knight was talking about, where, yeah, Blaze is down here. If he's not down here, his team's going to get 5v4'd. And if he is down here, Dahaka's going to double soak for free. Rainer Banshee stalling. Garrosh can stall pretty easily. His 45-second cooldown is back. Maiev can even stall a little bit. That was a really strange... right here, when Maiev takes this E, just to W the wave. I feel like that could have been engaged on, maybe. Blaze charge to force her jump, and then Zeratul VPs her and the APOC combo. There is a white main cleanse though. It's tough to engage on that. If this was a Deckard, they could make that engage work, I think. Zeratul has to hide. If he shows on the wave, Miracle will start pushing. Do they know Zeratul's up there already? Oh, Zeratul showed. So Zeratul showed on the wave? No, he didn't. Hold on. Do they actually, like, have a camera there to see his stealth shimmer? Or is Garrosh just insane? I feel like this Garrosh is just insane. I feel like this is actually just insane that he's doing this with his team all back here. And not even knowing that Zeratul's not here. I think this is just bad play, actually. This is just ridiculous how far up he goes. Luckily, he has a 45-second cooldown back, so he just pressed the button, he's okay. Miracle actually using a global. Yeah, they can use globals pretty well. And they can use Abathur just to soak the lanes. But they don't pick Abathur for the macro advantage. At least, like, not directly. It's a lot like Dahaka, where he still shows up to the team fights. It's just that before the team fight starts, he can be soaking your lanes. It's not like they use Abathur with a Samro or Abathur with, like, a Zeratul and split push a lot. Because, like, or Abathur with Dahaka and just completely dominate the top lane on towers. Because when they ran into that, both of these teams ran into that from Heroes Hearth and Dignitas, and they had no clue what to do. They just lost to it, because they had no idea what to do against it. May have just been looking. But then the rest of the team should be walking up at the same time. That's the issue. Is if your Garrosh is here, your team needs to be, like, here-ish, you know, to follow up on anything that happens. If your team is back here, and your Garrosh is here, he could just get gone on and killed. Other cat is coming in asking for attention, and this one isn't as well trained. I can't just tell him to go out. But the Hawk is getting a ton of free soak. Tempest, they have to do something, because it's them sitting here. Like, maybe that engage on the Maiev when she took her E here and used her W, that would have been good enough to just force the Dahaka dig. Even if it wasn't a winning engage, it was at least good enough to force the Dahaka dig. Because when Dahaka dig is down, then you can start going to soak again. If Miracle sends Maiev to soak maybe, or Dahaka to soak this lane, you can send your Zeratul to soak it, or your Blaze to soak it, and that's a lot better. Whereas now they're just losing an entire top lane of soak the entire time, and maybe getting some of mid. Basically where Tempest lost to HHE as well. I mean, Tempest lost to HHE because HHE had an Abathur Dahaka, and Tempest's offlaner just said, yeah, I can't do anything top lane, and then just had to be with his team the rest of the game. So then this fort was dead, all of the experience top was gone, and then they just lost the game. In addition to that, they weren't even stronger team fighting. They were just losing to, like, Zeratul VPs and clones. Or yeah, it was Abathur Illidan in that case, but yeah, same thing, basically. It was Dig that had the Abathur Dahaka. Alright, they're going to try and do a camp. Luckily, Miracle doesn't have any map hacks to scout this, but Maiev does actually scout it. I think Deckard scouted that Maiev scouted it, and they're going on the Maiev. This is a good engage for Tempest. This is looking like a pretty good engage. Dahaka Dig gets slept. There's the VP. There's the APOC. It gets taunted. VP still good. Arrow stacked a little bit. Zera's getting really low now. Zera's going to kill white main. Diablo being really, really mobile sometimes. Sometimes Diablo is just a very mobile hero. It's funny how that works. And then they lose vision of him in this corner. Oh, the throw kills Hanzo. What's happening to Hanzo in this thing? He's just getting chased by a Dahaka or something? Oh, he just kind of walks into the Dahaka. That's not good. I mean, if you're Hanzo here, you should just hit the Dahaka probably. Kind of very risky to kill yourself into the Dahaka for free. Which he kind of does. Because then suddenly without a ranged DPS, this fight is a lot spookier. This fight is very, very spooky when you don't have your Hanzo anymore, who just died for free. HHE choked today. Second game was unwinnable. Second game was impossible to win. Team Liquid misplayed a decent amount to even have the second game be as close as it was. Good enough at fighting, or you don't feel like they're good enough at fighting? Yeah. Void Prison Arrow APOC? No, it's just Void Prison APOC, and then Arrow is whenever he wants it. Everyone forget the objective? I mean, this is just Korean teams. They just team fight. So they come out on top, and I mean, this is just how Korean teams work. Is sit there and lose a ton of soak, because the Hawk is a global. Lose like a half level of experience just to soaking, and then just happen to scout their Maiev, get into a bush right here, and then get an engage on her. And then win the team fight. Barely win the team fight. Just because you're better at team fighting. So the Deckard Sleep right here is very nice. Peeling for his Hanzo, peeling off the Dahaka. There's no way to tongue against the Deckard Sleep. Even if there was an ISO, it probably would have missed. Ballistics usually known for having good macro. Ballistics turned into Gen G, right? Or did they just not even make it to the tournament? Yeah, ATG did pretty well considering, yeah. Like, Hami's a pretty good player. It's just that they're not coordinated with him as well as they would have been with Arthelon. And there's also hero pool limitations that Arthelon, like, for example, Medivh, Arthelon could play that, and I don't think they can play that hero with their current 5-man. Yeah. So I feel like everything in this fight makes general sense. What's happening to Raynor down here? I want to find this out. So Hanjo just like goes and 1v1s him, kind of. Okay. Ranged DPS just randomly 1v1ing each other instead of hitting the tanks. Like, this is just Korean team fighting. And they're pretty good at it. They still do randomly dumb things like the Hanzo, just committing suicide. He could even jump over this wall and be completely safe, but he jumps over this wall. It is to a support, but it's also to a complete corner where there's no escape from it. And that almost throws the fight for Tempest. Is that a precast E from Diablo? No, he's just mashing it. Okay. He was just E-clicking on the spot right there. Or just E-ing with quick cast on. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 favor of Tempest. They had a really good start to the fight with a good follow-up combo with the VP APOC, and even then it was really close because Hanzo suicided. Yeah, Arthelon had a big hero pool. He was just very inconsistent on a lot of them. Like, if they had Arthelon, for sure they would have picked Junkrat on the Tomb game. I mean, Maev's hoping to catch them off guard, but they're actually just Diablo's actually just mashing his E on top of her Ghost. Because if she gets in, she kills the Diablo. Whoever presses the button first kills. It's just that, because if she takes the E, W Qs, maybe that doesn't kill actually because the healing's too much. She does actually kind of suicide. Like, all right, let's go in try mode to explain this. After we get rid of that, that's annoying. So, like, I don't use quick cast. So, in my case, if I were trying to, like, for example, if I'm coming out of a VP and I want to dodge Apocalypse on Li Ming, I would just be hitting E and then just clicking repeatedly. So, let's just go to Li Ming, I guess. Oops. So, like, if I'm in an APOC, with Quick S, it's way easier. If you're in a VP, and as soon as you come out, you want to blink, you just mash E. You just mash E repeatedly. Whereas, without Quick S, you'd have to E-click repeatedly. But, yeah, that's just what it means. Next main hot streamer, education in stream. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to educate people with the overall level of play and quality of Hero League, but with actual competitive events going on, and I can do analysis on it, yeah, I can educate people much more easily with that. So, okay, they get this. So they've got a small experience lead, even though they're down experience to the Dahaka. I guess one big issue for the fight for Miracle was Maiev got engaged on, and she could never really find a target. She was just chunked out and could never get a fight that she'd get the fight to go the way she wanted, which is to tether one of Tempest's frontliners and help help Garrosh isolate them. Like that. Except that Blaze is here. So now it's a bit spooky. But there's the Haka. And we're team fighting. Korea. And your Deckard can't see anything. But there's a VP APOC combo again. So, I mean, they're not fighting over an objective. This team fight literally started just because Diablo walked into Garrosh throw range. Like, Diablo was safe, and then he decided, I'm going to charge the Garrosh and get thrown. And then he did. And then there's a team fight. There's no objective. I mean, there's some camps, kind of. But they're going to die in the middle of this anyway. Bunker gets forced out early, which then allows Maiev to get in and get a cage. Follow-up later on. And the VP counters it. But then the cage messes up the Diablo charge here. Oh no, he doesn't charge yet. No, he just gets bounced in by the cage. And then Blaze gets stuck and he dies. Where's the Hanzo ult this entire... Alright, so Hanzo, where's your ultimate ability? You know, that you could use on, say, this tongue right here to interrupt this. Or, you know, you could even just throw it here for the 1.25 second stun. Or you could kite back right here when the VP's down. Right here. Kite back, set up for your stun to follow up on the APOC. But you could also just do none of the above and save it the entire team fight. That works too. Hanzo player, doing things. Am I still playing Pro Scene? Yes, I should be. Why Tempo went for meme draft? Because they don't have the best player in the world. Someone left a question on the video. Did Tempo choose Volskaya? Whichever team is second pick is the team that chose the map. Who's the best player in NA? Me or McIntyre? Fan might be the best player on Tempo. So, I mean, a team fight happened to occur in the bottom lane, and then it was pretty well executed other than the Hanzo ult. That's a big call-out point there, where he just did not ult until the team fight was over, when he could have very easily ulted to follow up on the VP APOC. Best support NA? I'm not sure, but it's likely that it's BBJ, just because all the other supports on the top 4 teams have very, very poor comms. I'm not sure June's comms might have improved, but from what I know of June from in the past, like 2017, his comms are very weak. Bud's this year, very, very weak comms, not even that strong play. And from Collusion, from what I've heard, he also has weak comms. Alright, so, you know, a team fight happened to occur. There was no objective. It was just fighting for the sake of fighting. Nice Raynor Q. Alright, and they get on Deckard. Blaze needs to get Bunker down for him, but it's on cooldown, so Deckard's just dead, so... Alright, Deckard just killed himself, actually. So your Diablo Q gets interrupted, and your Hanzo already scouted Garrosh down here. And you have to... I mean, you know the enemy team is here for the objective. It's literally spawned already. And you walk up to try and throw a combo over here. Alright, sir. Good job, Hyde. Collusion's comms have apparently gotten a lot better. Okay. Weak comms, like not calling cooldowns, such as cleanse, primary heal cooldowns, such as like a Tyrande Q, ultimate cooldowns, positioning when they need help, what their target is, CC cooldowns, anything. Just not talking, not saying things in the game. No, Buds is not the best support in North America. Last year, he might have been. This year, no. Zero was capping an altar, but he got stopped by Dahaka. And meanwhile, their Deckard died. And now their Blaze is dead. Alright, I mean, Miracle kind of just walked at Tempest, and Tempest died. because their support walked into Miracle. Hosty will get picked. Maybe. I don't know. The true all-star team then? Like me, McIntyre, not sure on tank, maybe Cattle, but really hard to tell. Maybe Justing, I guess. If I could have. Maybe. And then for other flex / offlane, I'm not totally sure. Maybe Goku. Buds is funny. Okay. Doesn't make you a better player. So at least this team fight happened remotely close to an objective, or when an objective was spawning, so there was a reason for it. There was no reason for Deckard to walk in and kill himself. Especially when you know Bunker's on cooldown, especially when you know your team isn't fully grouped up yet, especially when you know the enemy team has Maiev and Garrosh, and they're going to be targeting you above everybody else. Wouldn't Mac be playing? Mac is good on offlane and on flex, so he could be on either one. He's probably the best on NA on both, best in NA on both. Tempest does get a top camp out, but it is defended because they don't know where Miracle is. They don't know if Miracle is on their camp until right now when Hanzo map hacked, or if Miracle is already rotating top to do boss or something else. So now there's a 16 advantage, camps are pushing in, top is defended by Dahaka, and that's all very nice for Miracle. And they're ahead a lot of shots. How big was the Psalm loss? Very big. Was he that carry god? Oh, I thought you said some like weird slang, but yeah, carry god. Everyone makes out of him. I don't think he was like literally 1v5ing, but he was like he was not 1v5ing or 1v9ing, but he was like doing 30% for the team for sure. Minimum 30%. Alright, Garrosh can ally throw in a shot. I mean, he was the team leader and he was the best player on the team mechanically. And he was the shot caller, so he just did everything for that team. Here comes some shots. What are you going to do, Diablo? You can't walk into them, because there's a Garrosh and a Maiev there. There's 2 shots. Good job, Miracle. Good zoning. Nice damage, Zeratul. How is he doing in Fortnite? Pretty decently. It's hard to tell because the way Fortnite tournaments work are kind of weird, but he has placed pretty well in them. Psalm was even, yeah, Psalm was the drafter. He was the drafter, shot caller, team leader, everything. So Tempest does get 16. They're pushing in through the choke. Miracle is letting Dahaka get some split push, split soak value. It's not like they can't stall themselves. Here comes the Dahaka dig defensively. Blaze charged in, but there's no Garrosh throw. There is APOC combo. They're on Raynor. Raynor's extremely tanky. There's a bunker. The bunker's slightly less tanky. There's Maiev. Alright, well that was a mess. That's Korean team fights though. Koreans tunnel very hard on their kill target rather than rather than protecting themselves and their own positioning. Like if someone on their team is saying kill this person, they will attack move into that person regardless of if they're walking through a tank or walking into anything else. So like right here, Sign is calling, I want to go on the Raynor here. Kill target is Raynor. The Hanzo ult actually misses, and then like look at Deckard. He's just walking into the Raynor. He's just walking into the Raynor. And he's a bunker, so he's safe for now, but he's absolutely screwed out of that bunker. Absolutely screwed. And at the same time, Lockdown was probably also calling White Main's my kill target, but the follow-up went on this, and it didn't even hit. Nice Hanzo ults this game. Very, very good. Also gets hit by an isolation that he probably could have sidestepped. That was a really good isolation. Probably not possible to sidestep for free. But he gets into the bunker. That cleanses it off. No, he is pretty much that inconsistent and constantly overextending. You're right. Glarung is. Almost who did research on the teams? Probably. Him or Kala. So at the end of the day, they go really hard on this Rainer, and this Rainer presses E for half the damage, and then he presses Q. Look at how much that Q heals him. That heals him half his health bar. That literally heals Rainer half his health bar because it hits 2 heroes. Absolutely ridiculously tanky hero. Absolutely insane how tanky this hero is. So you just blew everything on him. The other target that you could have gone on was Whitemane, but you went on this. You missed the Hanzo ult. Thanks, Hanzo. You've had some really good ults this game. Great effort. And now you probably lose the game at this point. You're down 2 levels, and you're going to lose a lot of other things while you're dead. Like every camp on the map. Oh, another team fight randomly happening? Yes, let's do so. Maev's not here, so I guess it's okay for Tempest to go for the fight. But Garrosh pressed his 45-second cooldown and he's fine. Him and Udall similarly. Good in 2016 and then fell off a lot. Because that's how I see them, to be honest. Rather Rainer be a ranged minion again? No, but he is borderline overpowered. Borderline. At the very least, if the hero is not overpowered, his level 16 talent is very overpowered. That talent is way too strong. There goes Garrosh, getting some people. Whitemane didn't get the root down, though. Alright, go on the Garrosh. Nice, isolate him, focus him. Whitemane can't get in. This was a really nice VP, I remember this. Where Garrosh is really far forward, isolated from his team, and Zera just drops the VP on the choke here. This is such a good VP. Whitemane can't even get in to help him. And Garrosh gets punished for overextending. They get the APOC combo with the VP. They're on the Whitemane now. Whitemane ults. She gets stunned, she gets rooted, but Hanzo dies. How does Hanzo die? The hell are you doing, Hanzo? How do you even die in this team fight? Actually. Hanzo? Why are you walking into a Maevi? That was actually really fast Maev combo off the E, actually. The hell? But then you jump into the cage wall. Hanzo? Why are you getting solo killed by a Maev? What are you doing with yourself? This Hanzo player looked so boosted this game, actually. Greymane's just really bad against the meta tanks, and he's a lot worse than Rainer and Phoenix and stuff like that. No, it wasn't a late jump. He was tethered off of the E instantly, but what you have to do is break the cage wall and then jump over. He literally just jumps into the cage wall, and then dies, and doesn't even get his Deckard potion. Hanzo actually throws this fight for his team. I mean, they're also 2 levels down, and they used a lot of cooldowns on Garrosh, but that is a 5v4 that you should just win. Your entire team's full HP, even if you're down ultimates. Hanzo can jump. No, he can't. He's tethered. Maev tethers and then uses cage, so there's no way to get out. Rainer does a lot of damage. He is 3 levels ahead, but he does do a lot of damage. And now it's over. Alright, this Hanzo was the most boosted player in this game. Every single ult was terrible. He got caught out in team fights a lot, and just not good. Actually looking like the Korean, or the Chinese team, the ones sub that they had as their range player who also fed a lot. Alright, next draft. BOE. Alright. These are some interesting bans. Oh no, this is second pick. Never mind. I thought this was second pick who was banning interesting things, but no. This is second pick. They banned my Evan Genji. XD. Let's go on with the draft. Yeah, they were down that fight, but your Hanzo has not had a single good ult this game, even though you have VP and APOC to set up for it. He's gotten caught out in basically every team fight, and has not done very much damage. We could even pull up the stats for that. I mean, again, it's not very accurate, but yeah, I'm not going to pull up the stats because it's not accurate. But I'm pretty sure his team fight damage was significantly lower than Rainer's. Significantly. Tempest just couldn't do it. Yeah, their focus wasn't great. And yeah, Maev is also just Maev. Where even without follow-up, if your Hanzo's just gonna be boosted, she's just gonna go kill him, I guess. Alright, so there's a Hanzo first pick, pretty much expected on this map. There's a Diablo Tyrande, pretty good heroes. Garrosh is already banned, so that makes the Diablo priority even higher. So what do you do here? You could run Abathur if you weren't a Korean team, but you're a Korean team. You're never gonna pick Abathur on this map. Alright, that's White Mane. So I did expect White Mane to go up in priority, and she has a decent bit for playoffs. But that is a very early White Mane pick. I guess they're definitely feeling like Deckard, when you're against this Chain CC stuff, he sucks. You need the burst healing, you need the cleanse to be able to keep your team alive, and Deckard just cannot do it. He just gets exploited too hard by it. So that makes sense, but you could not pick this now and get Malf instead if White Mane is banned, and that might be better for the draft if they get like, I don't know what tank they would even want here. Probably not a noob, maybe like main tank Arthas or something, or they could get Li Ming even right now. Though that is very bad against Diablo. You'll never kill Diablo if you go Li Ming. Oh no, Li Ming's banned. I'm terrible. So there's not really another range priority on the map. So I don't know. I feel like the White Mane pick is maybe too early. Maybe there's a different priority, but maybe there isn't. Maybe there is no other priority, and they just say White Mane over Malf, good enough. No, you ban Garrosh because he's a very good hero. He throws people and taunts them and then they die. Why is Mura not picked? He's not very good. He only has 1 CC ability, whereas the top tier tanks have 2 or 3. And his damage is lower than them, and his survivability is lower than him. Lower than them. So he's just not very effective. White Mane counterpicks? There aren't counterpicks to her. The hero doesn't have any weaknesses. I mean, she doesn't have mobility for herself, but she has a ton of burst healing on herself and 40 armor, and she has a blaze bunker, so there's no counterpick to a White Mane. It's just that maybe there's another pick that's higher priority for its role than White Mane over Malfurion. The Li Ming ban makes sense, because if you want to first pick Hanzo, and you're expecting the enemy team to ban these 2 heroes, then you get Hanzo, and they don't get the poke hero to match it, or to at least decently match it. There's Sergeant Hammer ban. And is this an offlane ban? Probably not. Probably just a ranged ban on Raynor. Ban Raynor, enemy team picks like a Phoenix or something. Dahaka ban. I don't think they even like Dahaka on this map. Jaina ban. Okay. That also makes sense with the just Diablo Tyrande super reliable engage to set up for the Jaina to burst somebody. But that does leave Raynor. So I'm expecting a Raynor, and then maybe the Zeratul. Oh, okay, Thrall. They need Race? What do you mean they need Race? Who needs Race? Both teams have a ton of DPS heroes to do damage. Phoenix ETC. Alright. Sure. And now Miracle takes Irel or Dahaka. Sure. I mean, any ranged DPS is good race. All of the top tier ranged DPS have good race. Even Jaina when she gets level 7. And Arthas offlane. Alright. So Miracle's front line is going to be pretty close to unkillable. Hanzo does not have reliable single target damage. And has a lot of trouble just killing tanks and focusing them down. So Miracle does not have poke to match the Hanzo, but in exchange they have a massive front line, they have Toronto map hacks, and they have a Diablo. Whereas Tempest has a bunker, they have a Phoenix that will be able to ult without being countered, super hard. And White Mane is still fine, and they've got the Hanzo poke. And secondary tier 2 map hacks on the Hanzo. You like Miracle's draft more? As long as they can find engages and not just get poked by the Hanzo, they should be fine. But it is kind of hard to do that. ETC does deal with engages pretty decently, though that ETC knock right there was late. On the Diablo flip went off still. It was the Diablo W was too late, or the ETC W was too late to stop the Diablo E. And then Phoenix still managed to warp out, even though he got flipped into a Tron stun. Rainer's doesn't Q. Rainer is super late on that Q on the Phoenix warp, otherwise Phoenix might have died. Let's see, how much health does he have? Yeah, Phoenix would have died. Maybe not, because White Mane was going to heal anyway. No, Phoenix wasn't going to die. White Mane just uses her mana and heals him. ETC, yeah, ETC is not going to be face tanking the enemy team. ETC is just going to be trying to stop Miracle from getting engages, which he's decent at. Maybe Joe would have been better for that, but ETC is definitely better than a noob for that. Yeah, it's Crash Lightning. He's in the 4-man. It's fine. It's damage. You have your off-lane Arthas, so why not go Crash? Let's speed up a little bit. Blaze rotates Arthas here. I don't know if... I feel like Arthas should win against Blaze, but maybe Blaze just clears the wave too quickly, that Arthas can't do anything. So Tempest forces this camp because they know Blaze is here a lot sooner than Arthas, and Miracle just has to give it away. And they don't really lose out on anything for that. It's not a ton of experience from just this camp. And it'll be 0 experience advantage on the, after the BlizzCon changes go in, because you get the same amount of experience for defending the camp that you do for taking it in the first place. Both teams on Knights. Alright, let's speed up a little bit. Who's defending Knights bottom for Tempest? Looks like they're just going to burn. Alright, both teams just went to burn. And then after the halfway phase happens, they're going to clear each other's Knight camps out. Sure. And both teams have a hero soaking the unsafe lane from far away. Sure. Okay, they're not even clearing Knight camp. They don't have time. So the burn was very even. It's a 30 damage difference. And now Tempest is setting up for Hanzo to solo damage while they 4-man defend as much as possible. Okay, they're getting in on White Mane. They get the flip into Tron stun. Arthas on top of her. But White Mane's pretty tanky. She's just going to press Q on herself. And Arthas does not do nearly as much damage as a Zeratul. So he actually... I mean, her health bar just doesn't really move. They are getting a lot of damage at the same time, but so is Hanzo. One thing ETC is pretty good at is, if you don't have all your cooldowns up, he can just sit here and be annoying and knock your team back and slow down your DPS. But they do find a punish onto Blaze with that flip. So Tempest wins the burn, but Blaze, let's see, could he have backed off sooner? I guess Blaze is a bit overextended. As soon as Arthas shows up here, maybe he needed to kite back here. I think he's just trapped. I think he's just dead, because once Diablo gets his cooldowns up, he's going to be charged into a flip into Arthas slows, and he's not going to be able to escape. But not a terrible trade. Just one death to win the burn. The wave was pushing in towards Miracle, so they weren't even losing out on a ton of soak. Arthas looks like he's freezing the lane. Hard to tell, but it looks like it. And early Immortal, not much shields. Pretty easy to defend. With whatever. Your Rander just sits there and auto-attacks. Your Turan sits there and auto-attacks. Your Thrall presses Q. Whatever. There's a wall. Very tiny experience lead. And that is how the map should play out. The first Immortal is too weak. As long as both teams don't have anything go absolutely catastrophically wrong for them, they should end up being able to, at the very least, even if they have a bit worse DPS, trade the burn. An Immortal spawns with really low shields, and you just kill it as it kills most of your wall, or all of it. And then that's still fine. You're not behind. You're behind by a quarter of a level at most. And then you just wait for the second Immortal. Second Immortal is where it starts to scale, and also where teams get level 10. And also where some heroes like Hanzo get their burn spike a lot harder, so that they burn a lot faster than other heroes. Yeah, it would be so hilarious if they made the Braxis changes for other maps. Where like on Dragonshire you cap a Dragon Knight and the enemy team just gets a half a Dragon Knight in one of the side lanes. Or on this map, you win the Immortal, the enemy team still gets a full health, 0 shields Immortal in the opposite lane. Thrall 4W good? I think it is. Pretty good. I mean, like, the armor on Root is decent, the cooldown reduction is decent. I think the Root is really good if you can finish the quest consistently in a decent amount of time. And I think pro players should be able to do that, to be honest. It does depend, like, if you're able to get stacks effectively while posturing, and without like a full-on team fight happening, because full-on team fights are not going to happen that often. But it seems like he's able to get some decent stacks. I don't know if the observer interface even shows when people finish quests. I don't notice it, even if it does. But he should be able to. Like, there's a few stacks already, and you only need 6 to be able to finish it. So you should just throw your W's when it's 100% to hit, and then you should be able to finish the quest pretty easily. And then suddenly you have a 6-second cooldown on your Root, and that's really strong. That is very, very strong. There's an engage, again, ETC, very good against Diablo engages, you just do that, and then the Diablo engage fails. And then you can even try and punish him. That Turan 7 was kind of weird on Thrall there. That's a full health Thrall the entire time, whereas Diablo's pretty low on health until his W's heal him. It shows quests when they were finished only? Okay. If someone sees it in Twitch chat, then just say so, because I do not notice it at all. I'm looking here, and I'm looking here. So night camps didn't spawn in time for either team to get it again, and this time Miracle is in a much better burn position just because they were in the bottom lane, and Tempest rotated their DPS to burn. Should still be pretty even burn with Hanzo. Just a good DPS hero for the Immortals. Thrall quest literally just done? Yeah. That's good. So now you just have a 6-second cooldown on Thrall Root, and that's significantly stronger than any of the other level 4 talents. And Diablo Souls at the exact same time. Wow, what are the odds? Alright, so Tempest do win the burn by a small bit. Rainer's going to defend bottom. Miracle does have the map hacks advantage. Rainer's showing bottom though. So Miracle is in a 4v5 here, and they're getting engaged on now. Thrall gets cleansed, gets healed a lot. There's the Tron 7, and meanwhile, Phoenix is getting pounded. And I'm not sure where the white main cleanse is. She's up here. So white main doesn't really want to have an Arthas on top of her with the enemy team, so she kites up when Arthas shows up on the flank. And then she ends up not being able to get in range to heal or cleanse Phoenix. So it's a 4v5 for Miracle, and then they just win the team fight. And I mean, you could say right here, when ETC slides Thrall, you could say 100% Thrall will not die here, with Turan being able to heal him and use her 7 talent, sure. But you should not be able to say, alright, we're going to have her Thrall get really chunked out, get really pushed back, lose a ton of damage for free, and then also lose the burn still. So they got pretty fortunate that they actually get a kill on Phoenix here. While their Rainer is splitting like that. I think the call for Rainer to split like that should have just cost them the full Immortal. Yeah, it's also mana reduction, but that's much smaller than the cooldown reduction. They get 3 kills off of it, which is That was not part of the plan. Miracle's plan was not, let's 4v5, get 3 kills in the 4v5, and then win the Immortal, while Raynor just soaks the lane. That's pretty ridiculous. That is pretty ridiculous stuff right there. I think one thing I missed earlier in the lane is that Blaze again out-rotated the... Yeah, Blaze out-rotated Arthas again, which is why Tempest again forced this camp, and that is partly why Raynor went down here to clear. But I think this is just wrong. Either Raynor should be solo DPSing here, or you should be looking for some kind of a fight here when Tempest pushes up. I think that Raynor being down here should just cost you the Immortal. And something went very wrong for Tempest for this to turn into a 3-for-0. Yeah. That shouldn't happen. So both teams smash their heads into each other. Miracle only has 4/5 of their skull, because they decided to not use 1/5 of it. And then they still smashed harder, and Tempest is in a lot of trouble now, because this is level 10 timing with Immortal, so Tempest can't defend here anymore. They're trying to burn bottom fort, which is a decent trade idea, but they don't really damage it very much. Tehran map hacks. Where's the first one? I want to see the first map hacks. It looks like this is the first map hacks coming up soon. So there's some map hacks. They see Phoenix's bottom. They know they can push super hard. And then for some reason they get a quarter of the fort and then they leave, which is kind of just not any value. I guess it's still more value than Phoenix would have gotten being here, but he does back pretty late. Blaze is still trying to soak for 10. But this is a pretty good snowball for Miracle, where they got a 3-for-0, they won the Immortal, they had a 10 timing. I don't know what the hell this Immortal's pathing is. What is this? Is this intentional by Miracle to kill the small wall to make the Immortal path around like this? Or is that just Immortal bugging out? Alright. Again, ETC messing with the Diablo engage. But that's a ton of value. That is a level and a half advantage here. Is Phoenix the... Yeah, this was the Hanzo from last game. He's getting caught out again. I don't know what... Immortals are ridiculous, and they should be fixed. Their pathing and stuff. That Diablo charge was very aggressive. Does he get punished for it at all? The Raynor Q is down. Okay. 3-man Hanzo ult. No cleanse possible from Tehran. Stage dive. Gets counter-engaged. Lightning Breath zones the team. They burn the bunker really, really fast. Really big Phoenix ult, though. And everyone disengages. Alright. Sure. So everyone pressed R. Nobody died. Immortal does that? I don't know. It's a bug that happened recently in a patch, I think. But Miracle is very far ahead now. They're a level ahead. They have this very, very low keep, which they could potentially backdoor, or at the very least let mercenary camps threaten. It's probably not low enough that they could run up and just send a Raynor Banshee and a Tehran D at it to kill it. But if they say you get a level 13 talent tier advantage, which is very likely at this point, as long as they don't lose a team fight, they could just run at it with their 13 advantage. And the Immortal spawn is very nice for them too, where their Immortal is spawning here, so they could be in a defensive position here, and just run here as 5, and just go kill it. And they have the map packs to make it extremely safe to do so. Has the same base as Minion, Punisher, Camp AI? No, Minions go for gates before they even go for towers. It's something wrong with the Immortal AI. Where is the Night Camp of Tempest? When did that get capped? Wait, where did their Night Camp? Oh, they capped it before the Immortal spawned? That's random, because now they don't have it for this next second Immortal, or this Immortal phase afterwards. Which is... I don't know. Maybe it got a little bit of value defending the Immortal, I guess, we'll say that, but now the drawback is Miracle has a Night Camp, Tempest does not. Miracle's 5-manning bottom. I think they saw some heroes top for a while. They map hack to see if they're still there. They're not, but they're still going to push up for a little bit until this rotation is finished. Punisher has some walking pathing, yeah. Yeah, they do. Alright, they back off. Maybe this night camp was probably capped too early. Where they I think they cap it to try and punish these heroes being top, but as soon as Tempest sees this night camp being capped, they just rotate down and defend it. And yeah, it's capped before even 30 seconds before the Immortal spawn, so it just gets cleared. So I think that was too early if they weren't willing to 5-man push with it, which they shouldn't be most likely when they don't have a talent tier advantage, but then they should have capped it later. Because either you cap it and you 5-man with it, even if the enemy team rotates, because the enemy team has a lot of time to rotate from here to here, because the night camp doesn't have a mount and you do, Or you just say we'll cap it a little bit later, when it's maybe 15 seconds left, and then while the enemy team is clearing it, we get a lot more damage. Because now they don't get very much damage while the enemy team has cleared it. Still got some damage. Now they just want to soak for level 13. Not sure if they can soak the bottom lane. Probably not. They'll just lose too much of their immortal for it. But Arthas can soak top. They need to take a slow rotate up to here. Raynor scouting with the Banshee, even poking with it. And as long as they don't lose too much to Hanzo poke, too much of their immortal, then they get 13. They either force the immortal or force this keep. Both are really good for them. And then go from there. Judy's pretty good for a girl. Nice meme. Thrall Crash Lightning. I mean, it does damage. Unfortunately, Whitemane just does not use mana to heal. So she doesn't really care about this poke. But in team fights, just the random team fight damage of the Qs is still significant. Even though the poke is not real value. So there's the 13 timing. Here's them pushing up on the Immortal. They're pretty close to forcing the halfway. Raynor has Banshee scouting this flank, Arthas on this flank, so everyone in this concave is very safe, because they're not getting flanked by anything. Minion wave down here, so everything until this arc to here, unless someone goes all the way around here, there's no flanks happening. Hold on, I missed something happening with an ETC or a Diablo doing things. Like that. And there's a Hanzo ult that has no follow-up. There's a Lightning Breath. Just face tank through the Immortal Stun. Even forces Blaze Bunker to survive the Lightning Breath through the slow. What are you doing, Hanzo? I hate to see this. I absolutely despise this. That is a 25 or 30 second cooldown that he just wasted completely. He could have walked. That pisses me off. That pisses me off more than seeing people waste their spell shields by not disabling it until they start getting focused and need to use it. That triggers me. That triggers me so much that he just did that. I don't care if they're going to go AFK and give the Immortal away for the rest of it. I don't care. That's terrible to see. That's just bad use of your cooldowns. And look, he could be getting initiated on right here, because his jump's on cooldown, and the enemy team should know that, because they directly saw him use it, too. They could just go on him right now. He doesn't have his jump. They could go on him right now. It might be coming off cooldown just now. So, ETC just cleared out this keep. They're forcing damage, but they're getting stage dove on. And the big thing with the stage dive is it punishes Arthas for being so far forward. He actually activates... Arthas activates his ghouls really late here. Because the stage dive is happening, and then the stage dive finishes, and he finally activates ghouls. So he gets almost no healing from ghouls. But the big thing is that the stage dive forces the backline back, because they don't want to be hit by stage dive damage, even though they are. And they don't want to be hit by a stage dive damage, plus an ETC slide, plus the enemy team following up on that. Which, they do avoid the Phoenix ult mostly. And if they were to just stay there and be with their Arthas, like Tehran staying here healing Arthas, suddenly she gets hit by Phoenix ult, she gets slid by ETC, and she's going to be the one that dies instead of the Arthas. But instead, Arthas gets isolated. He definitely activated his ult late. That ult was also pretty bad from Whitemane. Did she ult anything here? No? Okay. $12 for Crash Lightning fully stacked. Yeah, it stacks really quickly on a map like this where you just do things like that to stack it. Alright, can Tempest finish this entire Immortal before Arthas respawns? It's looking like no, especially because Thrall is throwing out a lot of spells on a low cooldown with high damage, and Diablo just showed up with not a pre-tap, but he's still he's full souls and super strong. Cleanse on the stun from Tyrande. They're still trying to go on him, but the big thing here, they're trying to go on Thrall, but the stun circle is zoned out the back line, so there's no follow-up on this. They couldn't, and Diablo also zones them out. Diablo just walks in the enemy team. Face tanks. And if Diablo is tanking with his face, tanking your backline's damage with his face, your ETC face tanking the enemy team is not going to last as long. So ETC is super low, while Diablo's only half HP. And now he gets slandered. And Tempest just lost another 5v4. She ulted, yeah, she ulted after the Arthas kill. And then, at this point, they just say, we need to get the Immortal. It's low enough. Hanzo trying to get it from 1860. And they don't get it. And they're wiped. And this keep is dead for sure. I feel like they should have gotten this keep. Maybe they couldn't. Maybe. No, restop on timers are too short. Maybe. Can they really not get this keep? I feel like they can get this keep instead of this night camp, and that should be better. It's not insanely worse, but I feel like killing the keep instead of getting this camp that gets cleared anyway, because the enemy team's going to sack this fort no matter what is better. Yeah, 84 HP. Sucks to be Tempest, because instead of the Immortal, Tempest Immortal just delaying Miracle, and Miracle being able to get any objectives done while Tempest is dead. Instead, Miracle gets to push with a 16 tier advantage, and a full health Immortal with no shields. Bunker and White Mane ult just got stacked. That's pretty bad. White Mane's low mana. How did that happen? Alright, so this keep is dead. Looks like they're just running to kill top keep with their 16 tier advantage and 3 level lead. Sure, just run up and press some buttons on it. Then leave. So that's 2 keeps down, 3 level lead, and the game should just be done. They're running around getting all the camps, map hacking with Tyrande, and maybe if there were no map hacks, Tempest could look for some kind of a bush gank, 5 men in a bush, look to one-shot somebody. Maybe they could find a sneaky rotation, find a sneaky flank, get a good engage, but with Tyrande map hacks, there's nothing you can do. She just scouts so much of the map on such a low cooldown so reliably that she will find you no matter where you are hiding, or she will find where you are not, and they will know where you are hiding because that's the only place you can be. It's a lot of damage on Diablo. Nice Thrall Root on the Blaze Charge. But that's pretty much the entire halfway phase gone. Tempest isn't even trying to trade burn. They're just trying to find and engage, but it doesn't matter. Miracle's scouting their flanks. They're throwing Tyrande Owls to check for the full position of Tempest. Here's a Phoenix flank. That's pretty decent, but Raynor is very, very tanky. He pressed E. He got Tyrande marked. He still died. That's pretty insane, actually. So Hanzo ult, Blaze Charge. The Blaze Charge gets immediately cleansed, but then they still get the kill. Phoenix is going to 1v1 Tyrande and lose. He is down 3 levels. I think Raynor just didn't get his Q off, probably, was the issue. Where's his Q? Does he Q the Blaze, maybe? I cannot see where his Q got used. Because if his Q went off, he lives there, for sure. Because then the Tyrande level 7 talent comes into effect. Meanwhile, Arthas is just 1v2ing. He's 3 levels ahead, so he can actually kill the White Mane now. And also Hanzo can't kill him with ghouls up and everything. Alright, and now Miracle trolls a bit. I remember this part. They overchase and they lose the Tyrande. But it doesn't matter. Tempest is dead. Diablo even throws away his souls early, but yeah. Good looked pretty boosted in this series. Very boosted on the Hanzo, but also not very good on the Phoenix other than that very last flank. That was pretty good. It was also pretty bad that the Raynor was in a position to get Blaze charged and stage dove on and flanked. That was not very great, but good enough. So it is 4 AM now, so I think I'm not going to do BlizzCon analysis. I think we'll save that for tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have more time tomorrow to do that. So that's it for the, yeah, it's 4:30 AM. Yeah, at least the bad teams are out. From here on out, I mean, I think it's still a pretty heavy outmatch between Dignitas and Miracle, and between Gen.G and Team Liquid. But at least the matches are best of 5s. At least there won't be any troll draft bullshit going on, and at least the teams will be fighting hard. Even if Miracle just gets exploited for their lack of macro, even if Team Liquid gets exploited for their lack of team fighting, or not as strong team fighting. So you can follow. I'll start the stream again pretty much as soon as the match ends, the finals end. Because who cares about all the confetti and stuff? That's pretty fluffy. That's pretty fluffy, irrelevant stuff anyway. Snitch talking about concerns that the rank being rolled into one mode will kill the integrity of the leaderboard. Could very well be true. That was an issue before they separated the rank modes, was that people could just get boosted by duoing. Not sure if Orfeo looks OP. They always make the heroes look very OP in their cinematics and hero trailers. So, because I mean, they managed to make Probius look OP. Good job for them to doing that. All right, nothing else interesting going on here. What is with his hair? Whose hair? Snitch's hair? Hold on. Was Snitch's hair weird or something? I don't know what Twitch chat's talking about right now. Team Liquid stand a chance against Genji? Probably not. Her mobility? Her mobility is entirely dependent on landing her Q, so it at least rewards skill, unlike Genji and Maiev and Tracer, where you just press the button. So I like that a lot. I mean, we'll see. Maybe her numbers are too high. Maybe she is too mobile still. Maybe her Q is too easy to hit and isn't a real skill shot, like a lot of the skill shots are in HOTS, where they're really just point and click, such as a Genji dash, Genji's E. You pretty much just point and click it. You can't miss it if you just click on the hero. But she is at least interesting. So, let me pull up the BlizzCon schedule. You guys can follow the stream. You can follow me on Twitter. I'll link that in a second. So, schedule is... Final starts at around 7:15 p.m. So it'll finish at probably around 10 p.m.-ish. So that's when I'll start the stream. Follow the stream. I'll link Twitter. I said that already, but I just need to remind myself to link the Twitter. Alright, there it is. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I tweet before I start the analysis streams. And so, Genji beats Liquid. Pretty likely, probably 3-1. I think Liquid can maybe out-macro or out-draft a game. Maybe 2. But I don't think they win the series. Dig versus Miracle, I think Dig should just be able to out-macro Miracle very easily. And Miracle is not stronger at team fighting than Dignitas. I think they might even be weaker. So at least Liquid, I think, has an area where they might be advantaged in, whereas Miracle, I don't think, has any advantages going into this matchup. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't see any Samuro tornadoes tomorrow, because that was ridiculous. See at the top 8 of a BlizzCon. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh no, you guys see who I follow on Twitch. Alright, good night everybody.